about all of you fucking marks out there to always keep it kinky.
What is up, you fucking marks? This is Freebird Rules, episode 2 of season 2, but I think it's like episode 16 or something. Hambo might be frozen.
No, I think he's doing.
Nope, I was just really good at that.
Yeah, dude, we've had technical difficulties all morning.
He was doing his best Narwhal impression.
Dude.
I love that intro, by the way.
Yeah, good job, Nick.
What's up?
The intro that you made.
Oh,
I love that intro. I watch it so intently every time. It's so funny. Just the clips,
added
they
little
work
Royal
really well
Rumble
together.
thing to it at the beginning because I thought it was a good countdown. But I think I need to extend it because every time the thing takes forever to start, and then it like the countdown doesn't like it almost misses it. So, but it all works out. How was everyone's weekend?
It was a nice weekend.
Good. What'd y'all do?
Shields and I, well, Sheila went out on Friday with her sister to this little plaza out in Orlando, and they went to this arcade. Well, they went to a couple places, but one of the places they went to that Sheila was raving about was an arcade bar called Player One. And if you don't know what an arcade bar is, that's exactly what it is. It's a bar that has a bunch of arcade games in there. And this joint had like we went there last night. Before that, we went to this place called V Pizza that's right next to it. A really good pizza spot. But we went to this arcade bar called Player One. You pay like a coverage of $6 and go inside. And I mean, they serve like, hard seltzers and drinks. Sheila would probably be able to tell you that better because I didn't do any drinking. But they have all these arcade games, like the classic, like old school shit. So they had Contra in there. They had Tetris. There was a couple of games of Smash Bros going on. They had
Mario Kart on the big screen.
They had Galaga. They had Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And if you don't know me, then you don't know that I am the biggest Marvel vs. Capcom fan on the planet. And I welcome all challengers. But they had that X-Men. They got like any old school arcade game, like Donkey Kong. Like they had all that shit. Mm-hmm. So we were there a couple hours and we just hung out over there, and it was cool. It was real cool.
It was a lot of fun. Like we're not bar club crowd people at all. I mean, we really like to be home. Same. I mean, if we've made this joke a lot, where it's like if I could just be on a couch somewhere, anybody's couch, it doesn't matter. Then that's usually the vibe. But I genuinely think this is a place that all of us could really enjoy because it's just a bunch of people like us, like just a bunch of fucking nerds going and having fun and having a sake and having a beer and just playing some games. And they have an extensive list of like non-alcoholic beverages too, because a lot of us nerds don't like to drink. So it's fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I spent most of the time bouncing between Marvel vs. Capcom and there's one game I never heard of called Smash TV. Which was that ended up being my shit. I'd never heard of this game, man. I couldn't even describe it to you, but I ended up kind of obsessing over that game for most of the time we were there.
Goddamn. Fucking, I just spent most of my day most of my weekend watching things. I watched Crown Jewel, obviously, and then we played Fortnite most of last night because they just started a new season. Yeah, the new season's pretty dope. And then this morning I cleaned up the yard because on Halloween we had like a little fire here. So I like had to go clean all that up. And then I watched the Commanders game. And then we played some Black Ops right before I got on. I streamed that over on my Twitch channel right before I got on here. And then now I'm here. So just doing a lot of watching and playing.
To interject real quick, I apologize, Nick, because he said that too. Yeah, while he was playing Fortnite, I was playing this game called Dead Island 2. It's a zombie game. I haven't streamed it. I'm going to start streaming it on my Twitch channel. Yep. It's me, my boy Noose, my boy Hutch. We're trying to get a couple of other friends in there. Don't know if we'll get them. We'll see. But yeah, we're doing that right now. I spent the whole weekend playing that. That's pretty fun, pretty scary, but pretty fun. So yeah.
Hambone, what'd you do all weekend?
Well, my weekend has sucked, but I've had a rough couple weeks, so this one was no different.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Between having to be there very intensely for a lot of friends who are going through some stuff, and then my mom had surgery today. She's been in the hospital for a while, and you guys already know all my stuff with my parents. And then my wife's grandfather is dying, and we had to go spend time with him, and he is a misogynistic racist. So a lot of being around family that I don't want to be around and doing stuff that I don't want to do. And I really, really fucking need a recharge, and I'm not getting it. So, yeah.
Golly.
Brought it right down.
Yeah.
Amen. We're not about all positivity here.
That's true.
Life is life.
Sometimes life sucks.
Yeah. We were on a 5-month hiatus because of life was life. So,
yeah.
We're real over
and that
here.
shit was life and hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we're so sorry. You're definitely anything you need.
Thanks.
Just let us know.
Yeah, man. Definitely us up if you need anything.
I appreciate all of you.
Hoping you find some type of peace, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Of course.
So real quick, to show gratitude, that hot sauce is pretty good. It's pretty good.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
Oh no. To me, it tastes like I don't know if you've ever had the Old Bay hot sauce.
Yeah. That's what I said. It tastes kind of like a really good buffalo sauce with some Old Bay in it.
Yeah, that's what it tastes. It's good. It's really good. I'm very excited for you to try the one I'm going to send you, which is that iguana hot sauce.
Okay.
That one, they're nothing alike, so be prepared for that. And the one I send you, a little bit goes a long way. It's a lot like a kind of like a paste, more of like a paste than a sauce. It is a hot sauce, but it's very thick. So it's like, it's more of like a paste than a sauce. So tread carefully.
Okay.
But it's
good to know.
My favorite hot sauce. I think Khan's favorite hot sauce.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Nick has no hot sauce. He's just sitting there sauceless.
I have a lot of hot sauces. Actually, I've bought so many hot sauces in the last couple months since we moved into the new house that I forgot about how many hot sauces we have. So I'll see a new hot sauce and Kat be like, "We have 5 hot sauces at the house that you have not eaten. You're not buying a new hot sauce."
That's what I'll say, and I'm not just talking about hot sauces here. I'm just a sauce slut in general.
Yes.
Every time I go to a grocery store or something, I see a different one. I'm like, I want that, but I know that there's at least 20 sauces just sitting in my fridge right now. And I
am a condiment whore. That's how it has to. Most of the fridge is condiments, from various mustards to a bunch of different types of mayonnaise, lots of different
mustards. That's me. The mustard is me. The mustard is me.
You're a big mustard guy.
Mustard on the meat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro.
Mustard's in the fridge,
Various, bro. Various.
Oh, you know a guy for almost 20 years, and you think you know everything, and then you find out he's big into mustard.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna do something off camera because I don't want to get us banned.
Learning new stuff about each other every day.
Well, here's something that might cheer you up a little bit, Hambone.
I
got something that might cheer you up a little bit. Might brighten your weekend a little bit more, right?
Okay.
Ready?
This was something.
This was weird.
I did not believe this when you sent me this.
Yeah, so
Wait.
So to break this down, John Cena followed us on Twitter.
No way.
This happened.
Yeah, that's what I said.
John Felix Anthony Jr. John Felix.
I have a little bit of an
I thought that
idea
was
of what
gag.
happened.
No.
That's what I said.
I have a little bit of an idea of what happened. So recently we all discussed that we wanted to pay the $11 and get verified on Twitter, which ended up happening. Yep. So we got our little blue check mark. I don't have a screenshot of that, unfortunately, but we do have a blue check mark now. And over the weekend during Crown Jewel, I was doing a lot of tweeting. I was setting a lot of tweets up, and I went and followed a bunch of people, including John Cena, and then I retweeted whatever he most recently tweeted because I thought it was a good tweet. And then maybe 15 minutes later, he followed us. And obviously, this 902,000 following that he has, I mean, he follows a lot of people. Yeah. So I'm not really sure if this is like a I see you Freebird Rules thing, or if it's just like it looks like a wrestling thing, so I'm gonna follow it. Or it looks like
look at that ratio.
I kind of assumed the latter. I assumed it was him seeing like, oh, this looks like it's wrestling related, so I'm just gonna support it just because.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
I'm cool with that.
I mean, I don't know why we had to bring the audience into that. You know, I think we really should have lied about that and just said that he was following us.
Cut this
that
from
was his
YouTube.
thumb. That
He'll
hit
be on
the button,
next week.
But, you know, I guess if we're breaking the fourth wall here.
I do believe, though, that I believe fully that John Cena runs his social accounts, though.
I think so, too.
You can definitely see it by his Instagram.
Definitely his Instagram.
He definitely runs his own Instagram. So I would assume that he runs both of these things. So in my head, he's the one who clicked follow.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm with that.
I mean, you don't see him?
Come on.
Gosh.
Wow.
He's here.
I clearly see this. I clearly saw this.
That was a bad joke.
He'll be on next week. If we're gonna lie to our audience, he'll be on next week. And he can talk about. He can run us into Crown Jewel.
Okay, so
like
he's coming to do a bracket.
Yeah,
no, like
finish our candy up.
Yeah,
we have to figure out a way.
He's got some strong points to make.
Fucking candy.
We have to figure out a way to put a fifth.
Oh, I already know.
A fifth thing in here. You already know where I'm going?
Yeah.
All right.
I already know how to do it. Yeah.
You already know where I'm going, so I'm not going to say it. We'll just do it.
I'll sacrifice. I'll step out if we can't figure it out.
No. You're good.
Everybody
already know how to do it. We're going to interview John Cena next week because he followed us and we want to ask him why particularly and just about other things in knowledge. So we will have John Cena on next week.
Yes. He will
Not
be
sure if you'll be able to see him though, but he will be here. But that was really something. I was not expecting that. I think that happened like right before Crown Jewel started too. So it was really like, okay, he's just like sitting on the couch about to watch Crown Jewel just like the rest of us. And then just like, oh, I'm going to follow Freebird Rules. That's
How
cool.
fun is that?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I imagine he's just sitting around in his own home, but he's still in like the Peacemaker outfit.
Yeah.
And then he's just scrolling. And then
he sits like in the middle of his couch, not like on either side with either armrest. It's just in the middle.
Yeah.
And he's just like straight, like just you know what I mean? Like that's how he just sits and he's just waiting for Crown Jewel to start.
Yeah.
That's how I envision it.
Sounds about right.
You guys want to get into some headlines?
Let's do it.
I guess.
This is a little bit of a downer. Rhea Ripley, following the brutal attack she faced from Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in the NXT parking lot, she has suffered a fractured right orbital socket and will be out of action for an undisclosed amount of time. Hambone, did you hear about this?
I did. She's having a rough year and a half, man.
She really is, and Liv Morgan has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. I'm just curious as to how it actually legitimately happened, you know?
Well, I think I want to say both times it was genuinely probably an accident. I mean, I don't think Liv Morgan is generally trying to hurt this woman, but I mean, if we're looking into it, I mean, she threw her into a wall on, was it Raw or SmackDown? I can't remember, but she threw her into a wall and that hurt her shoulder that one time. She was out for a while, and then they attacked her again, and now they've destroyed her orbital.
Well, hold on, because from what I've read, that angle was to cover up this injury that had already happened.
Oh,
yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm interested to know how it actually happened, legitimately, because that was just to cover this up.
Got it. I did not hear that part.
What you eating there, Con? Making all this noise and everything.
What is that?
That's a snack of the week.
Hot honey cashew. That's your snack of the week, huh?
They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. Hot honey. Hot honey's big now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yo,
really
you ever
big.
had some hot honey on just a pepperoni pizza, bro?
That's what we had last night.
Mm.
That's so funny.
We had some last
Hot
night.
honey
We actually
chicken has obviously
literally
been
had
the,
a hot honey pepperoni pizza.
Yeah, the place we went to
really
had
good.
like a weekly or like a weekend special. The weekend special was hot honey pizza.
That's
Hell yeah.
crazy.
You guys know how to make hot honey?
Yeah, you just
Honey,
take some
put some
honey,
spices
put
in
some Calabrian peppers in it, and just let it sit.
Mm-hmm. You can do any kind of peppers if you want, depending on how
Yeah.
spicy you
I
want.
always used Calabrian because the first time that I had a hot honey pizza and it blew my balls out of the back of my britches, that they used Calabrian peppers. So that's what I always used.
It's a very colorful description.
descriptive.
Thank you for that, Hammer.
Yeah, that was a lot.
I mean, just look at these 4 boxes right here. I'm the most colorful out of all of us at the moment. There's a lot of muted colors going on.
Balls out of the back of his britches.
Quote me on that.
That's the name of the podcast. The name of this episode.
We got a lot of new names for this podcast.
We do. I do
I
have
still,
a close
from the waist up is the best, though. I still like that one.
From the waist up. Yeah. This is a zoomed in version of her X-ray. I'm assuming this black spot right above her eye is like,
That's
unless it's that whole black spot. I can't really tell. I don't know what X-ray is. I don't really know what I'm looking at, but that is her face.
Oof, poor thing.
Yeah.
I know that hurt.
But I don't like the fact that Rhea Ripley's out again, because I feel like we're really carrying this Liv Morgan story like a long way because of the fact that she's out a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the thing that bothers me the most is that they used that angle with Liv and Raquel, which means that this is still not over yet.
Yeah, so like, we're gonna like, hopefully she comes back from WrestleMania, and maybe that's the time. But that means I would assume Liv Morgan holds that title until Rhea's ready to take it off her.
Which, if that's the case, I mean, although I'm not the craziest Liv Morgan fan, good for her, because I mean, it's just
absolutely
more opportunity for her. You know what I mean? Because again, I don't think I'm the only person that kind of feels the way that I feel about her, when it's just like I don't dislike her at all. She just don't grab me like that. And I feel like the last time that she had the women's championship, I feel like a lot of fans were kind of getting around to that feeling too. And I think it was like 3 different things. I think you either really, really liked her, you really didn't care about her, or you just kind of felt like, or you were kind of just indifferent. You could take or leave her. And I think, again, the last reign, I think the people that were the most vocal were the people that were kind of starting to fade into that I don't know about her stance with her. So
the last feud for her, for me, it really felt like when she won Money in the Bank, her first.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so when she won Money in the Bank,
because when she won, everyone was happy for her, and then when she cashed in, people kind of changed their minds about her.
It was so weird.
So yeah, I don't know what it was. I really don't know. But again, with it sucks because I mean we're all big Rhea Ripley fans on this pod, but you know, good for her. That's just the way that I've been seeing it lately. And we're gonna talk about Crown Jewel. Again, not happy with the results, but it's just like good for her just because. Right. How long has she been in WWE at this point? It feel like 10 years.
Been in it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God! I mean, she's been in it as long as I've been a fan. So wait. I want to say she's been there.
She's been there for a grip.
I mean, I can look it up real quick, but
yeah, she's been there for a grip.
I'm looking forward to next week and asking John Cena what he thinks about this.
Me too. I'll definitely ask her.
Put that on our list of questions.
2014. It says she's been here. 10 years.
No.
2014.
She's been 20.
Nah, I don't think 14.
Well,
2017.
Yeah.
She debuted in wrestling in 2014.
Well, it says here in 2014 she signed a contract with WWE and was assigned to the Performance Center. So she probably wasn't on TV until 2017.
Nah, she was signed in 2017 after competing in the Mae Young Classic.
Oh, well, it says
in 2014 she was still in Australia.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Nick.
When Liv Morgan was in Australia.
Oh, I was talking about Rhea. I thought we were talking about Rhea.
No,
We're
Liv
talking
Morgan.
about Liv.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I was like,
That's my
why is
fault.
Wikipedia
I
wrong? I was like, I know you can edit Wikipedia, but it shouldn't be that off. No, it
I was
says
like, no way, nobody stopped me when I said
No,
Liv
no.
was in Australia.
no. Well, as soon as you said Australia, I was like, No, in 2014, she signed a contract with WWE, was assigned to the Performance Center, and then she was in NXT. And then she went to the main roster in 2017. So 7 years she's been on the main roster. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else we got?
X-ray. Tegan Knox, Indy Hartwell, and Baron Corbin were all released from WWE. As much as the names don't surprise me, I was surprised that this happened.
A nice restaurant will hire Baron Corbin. Don't worry.
So
that bar
here's the thing with that though. I mean, everybody who's watched this or me knows, not a Baron Corbin fan. Never have been. I never gotten it. No. But I feel like these three may have possibly even requested the releases, especially Corbin, because he did say in an interview that he wanted to retire young from wrestling and pursue becoming a host of a cooking show. So he hasn't really been being used. Yeah. I mean, I don't really think that anything more was going to happen with him. I mean, the guy's probably in his 40s by now, and he's been in WWE for 10 years and hasn't connected with the audience or gotten over. So maybe that's what he's going to do.
Last time I remember he was in NXT. Let me know so that I cannot watch it.
I follow his Instagram.
She really doesn't like Baron.
I follow his Instagram. He be throwing down in the kitchen. So if he got a cooking show, I'll watch it.
I mean, I can only imagine that he's better at cooking than he was at wrestling.
He's 40 years old.
But
he's 40.
He just turned 40 in September. So yeah, maybe that's just it. He's just done. He's moved on.
Yeah, I'll let him cook me a steak. I just don't want to watch him wrestle anymore.
No, he's not going to touch any food I consume. I fucking hate Baron Corbin. Wow. I can't stand that man. I'm so happy to not spend the next 40 years of his life on television.
Jesus. Shouts out to Baron Corbin.
Yeah. No. Tegan Knox, I can hit or miss. It was weird to see Indy on SmackDown when it was like this was like released beforehand. Yeah. I know SmackDown was recorded last week, but it was just weird to see like it's like Indy Hartwell was released, and then she's like she's in a tag match. Like,
Indy is the only one that really surprised me, because she has been being used somewhat on TV. I just feel like out of the three of these, Indy had the most potential for the future. I mean, she's still young. She's, like 5'9" for a woman. Like, she's pretty big. Like, I feel like there could have been more to do with her. Baron, already said my piece. Tegan, she, has not been the same since she had 2 surgeries on both knees. So, I mean, none of these surprised me, but Indy would have been the most surprising.
Yeah, these weren't surprising to me. None of them were doing shit. Not to put it so crudely, but none of them were really doing shit. And, to Hambone's theory that they probably even asked for their release, I'm like 75% inclined to believe that, especially Corbin. I mean, we see the writing on the wall. He probably saw the writing on the wall, too. And was like, hey, look, I'm fucking with this cooking thing. Like I said, I follow his Instagram, and I'm not a Baron Corbin fan, but I like watching him cook. So when you said that, because I didn't know he wanted to be a host of a food show or a cooking show. So when you say that, I'm just like, that makes total fucking sense. I feel like he totally shined with that because he does. If you follow him, he's doing that on his Instagram already. So, and he's good at it. So, I mean, if he's doing that, I look forward to seeing it.
We wish you all your best in your future.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
P's and P's.
Good luck. WWE has launched a new indie wrestling development program and has already brought Booker T's Reality Wrestling and Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Factory into the mix.
Hey, real quick, my bad to interrupt. If y'all have, I'm assuming you've probably seen like Reality Wrestling, once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, you should check that out because I've been getting into that recently. They got some good shows, man.
Where's this at?
It's free on YouTube.
It's free on YouTube.
Okay.
That's where Zilla's wrestling right now, I believe. No, House of Glory. I think he's wrestling.
Yo, I don't know. I know that we're going off on this, but we were talking in the group chat about Fourth Rope.
Oh, with West Side Gun.
Yeah. So West Side, he had his clothing company, which was wrestling based, and then he was opening his own indie company, and they had their first show last night, and Zilla became the Fourth Rope champion last night.
He was the Fourth Rope champion. Smoke Dizza showed up, and that was really cool. I think I've been listening to Smoke Dizza since community college. But if you're a Smoke Dizza fan, that was cool to see him in the ring because he's a massive wrestling fan too. And I think what was it? He's got because you mentioned he's got the merch. He did a little photo shoot with Joe Hendry, with the Joe Hendry t-shirt that he made, which is a really cool shirt.
That was a cool shirt.
I didn't see the Hendry one. I'll have to look that one up.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Mm-mm.
I'll send it to you. It's I like it. It's pretty cool. But
it's oversized, right?
Yeah.
Big oversized shirt.
And then but shouts out West Side Gun. He also just dropped he dropped 2 projects. He dropped 11 like in the middle of the week last week, and then he dropped, which is an EP, and then he dropped his album, I think it's called Still Praying, which is a Gangster Grills with DJ Drama, and he got Justin Roberts to do his intro, which is cool as shit.
Let's see if I found that Joe Hendry thing for you.
I think I put it in the Brevline chat. Let me find it.
I just found it.
There you go. I might cop that shirt for real. I like it. Yeah.
Oh shit! That. Yeah. No, I like that.
That's just tough.
Yeah. So it's dope. He actually looks really good in it, which I wasn't expecting him to because there's a lot going on.
As a rap fan and as a wrestling fan, this is really cool to see. Just because I feel like rap doesn't get a lot of representation in wrestling, and I feel like the representation that it does get in wrestling, it's just not a good representation of what.
Which is wild because there are so many wrestling fans in rap.
It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. Like so many rappers that are so vocal about watching wrestling. And anytime you tune into any of these wrestling shows, you'll just see him in the crowd. You know what I mean? But with guys like Swerve, guys like West Side Gun, guys like Smoke Dizza, Wale, I feel like Action Bronson,
Sexy Red, whether you like her or not.
Sexy Red. Listen, bro.
Megan.
Yeah. Megan. Megan, not so much, but Sexy Red for sure. But just.
Or wait, excuse me. I meant Cardi.
Cardi
has been talking about getting in wrestling for a while.
And Uzi, you know what I mean? It's just cool to see.
I hope she does.
She just did a.
I mean, she's already kind of involved with WWE now. So
commercial, but it's just cool to see the representation. It's cool to see wrestling. Embrace rap the way it does. Like I like seeing stuff like Cardi B doing a commercial with Bianca Belair about SummerSlam, or the fact that all Triple H wants to do now is use Future for every single PLE theme song. I love that shit.
We had Metro and for fucking ever
Metro.
For the SummerSlam shit.
Swerve is clearly trying to bring rap into AEW. He's been doing that. You know what I mean? When we saw Rick Ross, which I don't know why Ross hasn't come back because Ross fits right in within AEW.
You a big motherfucker,
bro, man. And then with Gunn, you know what I mean? Gunn is just like always been very vocal about being a wrestling fan, and so it's cool to see a rapper make their own independent wrestling company, their own independent wrestling hip hop. Like I just really love that shit, man.
Even Top Dollar bringing Bun B into TNA.
Bro, especially since I've been watching TNA again. I know a lot of people don't like AJ Francis. I now that I'm paying attention to him, I don't see why I'm supposed to dislike this guy. I fuck with him a long way, bro. I think he's cool. He's actually like one of my favorites to tap into whenever I am watching TNA. Top Dollar. He goes by AJ Francis. If you asking me about AJ Francis, he can't make an enemy out of me, bro. I'm a fan of the guy. Especially since he be showing up to URL and all the battle rap, and I'm my roots in rap come from battle rap. I fuck with AJ Francis.
He's doing corny shit sometimes. That's all it is for me.
I think he just likes to I think he just likes to rile people up. I really do. I truly think I think he leans into that a lot, and I think he really enjoys that because he just ate a lot of shit. People talk a lot of shit, and you have to have thick skin. So I just think that I think he just enjoys riling people up. He's good at it. He's good at it.
So WWE ID.
What are you feeling about this, y'all?
So break this down to me because I wasn't too sure exactly what was going on.
I can read you the little press release that they have here. It seems to me it looks like it's just like a program that is like involved with already.
I could break it down real easy to you, Con.
There you go.
You remember OVW and like HWA and how they had partnerships with WWE?
Sure.
That's what they're doing. It's that, but it's with Reality of Wrestling and the Nightmare Factory and Black and Blue, which is Seth Rollins. Companies they've already been working for. Now it's just official. They're going to be feeder systems, basically.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh. And Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, which I'm assuming these are all like that's cool. It's like a little paragraph here. Cody Rhodes Nightmare Factory, the Black and Brave, and a bunch of other ones are already all part of this thing. So I guess it's just a program to get these guys, these companies officially into WWE and like as a what do you want to call that? Like a railroad right to WWE, like Performance Center and stuff. So like if you do good in these companies, then Performance Center is looking right at you already, and that way it's not like maybe you'll get signed to WWE type thing. It's like it's already like a streamlined version of that.
Nice.
So I think it's cool, especially with it's already doing things with companies that exist already, like Cody Rhodes and Booker T and Seth Rollins and stuff like that. I think that's good for up and coming indie. So it's like you get into these wrestling schools and developmental things, and you already kind of get your foot in the door into WWE instead of having to maybe jump through hoops where you would have a couple years ago.
Sure. Yeah. That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
There's good and bad with it. But
yeah. This is something we didn't talk about last week. But I feel like you two definitely want to probably have a conversation about this because I can't really speak to this as much. But with the Motor City Machine Guns being on SmackDown now, and then they turn around and won the tag titles. I mean, Con, I know you've been tweeting pretty vocally about the fact that this is mind blowing to you.
This is a crazy picture.
Yeah, this is a really crazy picture. So, I mean, deep, go a little more into like why this is crazy.
Anybody who follows me on any type of like wrestling-esque social media, y'all know that I was big on TNA in the early 2000s. Well, since its inception, basically. But if you know me, you know that I love TNA. You know that I'm like, that I love like shit like the Main Event Mafia and Kurt Angle's, the GOAT to me. But you also know that I love the Motor City Machine Guns. They're top 3 greatest tag team of all time in my book. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, they're great solo. They're both former world champions on their own. And then when they're together, like I always say that they were the Young Bucks before the Young Bucks. They just really just had a big hand in influencing the way that tag team wrestling is today. And they've always just really been big, like independent / TNA guys. Cause they've been in Japan, they've wrestled in Ring of Honor and all that. So, but like just never thought to see them in WWE, at least, me. I just never thought that would be an option for them. I figured that just never was just their interest. So when we started hearing that they signed, I mean, when I heard that they signed, I don't think I was in a position to be like, no, they won't, because we've seen crazier shit in wrestling at this point. Literally anything can happen at this point. So, but just seeing, especially where they're at in their careers right now, because they're in legendary status right now. Seeing them just being like, hey, let's just go to WWE and make that jump. I'm to assume that it only does good for the roster, more specifically the tag team division as a whole, because right now the tag team division's okay, but it could be a lot better. And I think that this is a really good step into making it better.
I definitely think the WWE, the tag division got a little stale. It felt like kind of the same things were happening over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So this is definitely a switch up in that. I did feel a way about them winning right away. I'm usually not a big like you get to the company and then you win. Like I'm not a big fan of that. I didn't like when Mercedes did it. I don't, and I feel differently about Mercedes than I do these guys. I know a lot about Mercedes. I don't really know too much about these guys. But I'm not a big fan of that overall. Like just coming into a company brand new, just by who you are and just winning. But I did like the way they did it, because it had everything to do with the bloodline. That night had everything more to do with the bloodline story than it did them winning it. And even though that was a big moment for them and for the tag team division, the focus was the bloodline story. So they kind of just won based off of that. So I kind of liked how that worked out. But yeah, I'm usually not big into that, but it worked out in a cool way.
Mm-hmm.
Hambone, how you feel about this? Seeing this? Is this weird for you?
It is. Kind of. I feel a lot of the same ways that Khan did. I've watched Ring of Honor and TNA since they started. And the Machine Guns were a huge part of TNA. They're just, like Khan said, they're very, very influential in today's style of tag team wrestling. So many wrestlers would tell you that they were influenced by the Machine Guns, even though they never really got a shot on, the big stage. You could argue TNA in the early 2000s and all that. They had their time, but it's just not longtime fans would probably look at the Machine Guns and say, these are not guys that Vince McMahon is ever going to say it fits his mold. I think the Guns coming is the biggest example that things have changed in WWE.
Most definitely.
Yeah, because Triple H don't care about that shit.
I made a joke in the other chat where I was like, had they had signed, let's say Vince did sign them, the first thing he would have did was make him get rid of the name.
Yeah. Yep. Their names would have been different. I mean, everything would have been different. But usually, Nick, I'm on board with you. I don't usually like when people just come in and win titles very quickly. I think there are rare exceptions. For me, the Machine Guns are one of the exceptions.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Gunter was an exception. He pretty much won a title as soon as he came in. Usually I'm on board with that, but with them, I let it slide because they're an exception for me. I think most people know who they are.
I feel like the division needs them, and that's why I'm kind of like not really have an issue with it. I just feel like
right. And that's another reason why I'm down with it too, because I do think that the bloodline having the titles was keeping the titles like locked up just in that storyline. You know what I mean? It wasn't doing any favors for the titles.
Nah, not at all.
So you need to get them off them and out of that storyline to actually do something with the belts. Right. And the Machine Guns are the perfect tag team to do that with. So
yeah, knew the story was heading this way, and I think it's the same reason why Jay doesn't have the IC title right now. Okay,
we know they could have done that in a better way, but whatever.
Yeah, no, you definitely could.
He can still have that title, and they could still be doing this, but whatever.
They could, but I think they were going. We know we're throwing you all back into this bloodline thing.
Right.
The last thing we want to do again is
lock up all the titles,
because that's the whole reason we have a world heavyweight title and everything else we have now.
Right.
So that's why I fuck with how they did it and who they put it on, because this is a shakeup, and tag team division definitely needed a shakeup.
Sheila, what did you think? Great.
Another tag team division that needed a shakeup apparently was AEW when Private Party won it off the Bucks. A very surprising moment on Friday Night Dynamite the other day.
I did not think they were going to win.
I did not expect that at all. Hambo, were you watching AEW when this happened?
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah,
Definitely was happy for them. Once they said that they were putting the tag team on the line, for me, I was like, yeah, they're gonna win it. A lot we have seen that happen before, like with SCU, and they go their separate ways when they don't win. But just may be a hot take, but I think there is a Marty and a Sean in this tag team.
Really?
So if they had lost, I think it wouldn't
put a name on it. Put a name on it. I never heard that theory. Put a name on it.
What?
Who's Marty? Who's Sean?
Oh, Marquin is definitely Marty.
Whoa.
And Zay is Sean. Zay's got way more personality and just charisma, and when he's on the mic, he's natural. Marquin just does not have that.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel like I know too much. Like I've been watching Private Party ever since the AEW's been out. I feel like I still don't really know a whole lot about Mark.
I feel like because I do agree with you, Ham. I feel like because Mark was injured for a minute, wasn't he?
He was gone for a long time with an injury.
I feel like part of it was because of the injury, and part of it was because of the injury. And while he was gone, they gave Zay stuff to do. But at the same time, when they are together, because the times Mark does talk, he's not like a bad talker at all. I just feel like, I don't know, the times that I feel like he hasn't really been given much opportunity to kind of show his personality the way that Isaiah has been given. So, I mean, at this rate, I'm inclined to agree because we don't know shit about Mark right now. Past the fact that he is Zay's boy. And Zay's funny, bro. Zay's funny as shit.
He is.
He's fucking
I could
funny,
not,
bro.
when Private Party debuted, I could not stand them because I hated when Zay would do that screaming shit just all the time. But as soon as he stopped doing that all the time and just started like being himself a little bit more, then I really became a fan.
The screaming, the weird, the moaning was wild.
The moaning to me was funny.
The moaning is funny as shit, but it's wild.
It's funny.
It's
when he got up and Kenny's here.
Yeah, just leaning and just moaning in another man's ear like that is nuts. But like, yeah, I think Zay's just been given so much time to kind of just display that.
Yeah.
Mark hasn't really. But yeah, at this point, I'm inclined to agree. But I thought they were going to lose. I really did. I didn't think they were going to win.
I definitely thought they were going to win. I was happy for them. It's nice to see their story kind of come full circle. Yeah. The Bucks brought them into AEW. Mm-hmm. They put them over, in the first like tag team.
Yeah, I remember that match. That was a good match too.
Yeah. And then to go completely full circle and do the job for them, give them the titles. Again, I'm a Bucks guy. I don't really care what you say about them. I usually really feel like they do right.
I was mad at them over the Punk shit, but I got over that, bro. I got over that a while ago.
Yeah. So I'm happy for it because I do think that again, AEW is in the same position as WWE. The tag team division is a little weak, and a lot of it has to do with who they were on. Nothing against the Bucks, but it was just locked up in that Young Bucks storyline. And they weren't really being used as a story point. So I think that'll change the Private Party having them.
So congratulations to Private Party.
Absolutely.
Sheila left. She's done. Sad enough already.
You good?
Wait. I have to charge my laptop.
Gotcha.
She got shrimp to marinate.
Yeah. That was sexist.
Yeah, that was a little nuts.
Is it?
That was a little nuts.
Whoa! How?
Asking the woman if she has shrimp to marinate.
That was what she said last week.
Sure, that could. Oh boy!
Wow.
If I mansplain, it sounds crazy. Never mind.
No, I'll be right there.
Right.
Let's see.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Vince McMahon plans
Whatever.
a new entertainment company.
Whatever. Who cares?
We can move on from this. I just
I'm not interested.
Like, I don't even know I don't know what it means. Like, I don't believe that it's going to be a wrestling company.
It's not.
And even if it I don't care. Go away. Like nobody likes you. Just go away, Vince.
Take the hint.
Yes. All this shit 20 plus years of scandals. Like, there's nobody that believes that you're just being targeted, bro. You're a bad person. Go away.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we need to bring into that, huh?
Bill Cosby took the hint. You would think Vince would,
follow suit,
Got to get them
Something
behind
like
bars
that.
first. That's true. You gotta kind of.
Well, white men don't get put away for shit like that, unfortunately.
That's true.
So.
That's true. Not rich white men, especially.
Not rich white men. Well, that's a pipeline we don't want to dive into right now.
We can move on. We can we can move on.
Politics.
I'm convinced that this is why Baron Corbin was released from WWE.
Wow.
He seems to think that Butterfinger is the #1 candy bar on the face of this.
I agree.
Nick, listen, I've got a lot of faith in you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If this is not the lead-in, I'm going to be very upset with you.
Hey, man, let me just work, all right? You just respond
to
Baron Corbin said, and I'll be the guy running the show, all right?
You ruined
what do you
everything.
think about Baron Corbin saying that Butterfinger is the #1 candy
That's
bar?
bullshit, but...
No, it's not. I agree.
No, it's bullshit.
Why is it the #1 candy bar?
Because it's fucking amazing.
Sheila last week had a lot to say about candy that like sticks to your teeth. And like that's all that the inside of a Butterfinger does.
I don't appreciate that call out. But anyway, that's huh?
Is that true?
I don't like sticky taffy.
No. Is it true about the Butterfinger?
That it's the #1 or that Baron Corbin said it?
That it sticks to your teeth.
I think it sticks to your teeth.
It's like toffee. It's like honeycomb and toffee and stuff. Like it's a little chewy, but it's not like taffy. Taffy's fucking gross.
It's chewy, really.
No, it's just crunchy toffee. You know what I mean? It's fire. That's all you need to know.
I can't put this above a lot of other things.
I mean, I'm gonna say like I enjoy a Butterfinger. I'm not saying I don't enjoy one. But #1, that's...
Did Baron Corbin really say this?
He really
that's
said
insanity.
This. Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's the one thing Baron Corbin and I can agree on. I guess I don't hate the guy,
So you're a Baron Corbin fan now.
Okay, take it easy. All right.
Got it.
I mean, if Sheila had drafted in our bracket, maybe Butterfinger would have made a that's why I say #1 is a stretch. It's good. I think if Baron Corbin and Sheila were able to draft in our bracket here, I think it would have
well, I have a
made
I have
it,
a
but
list
it didn't.
Of
it didn't even
favorite...
make our. We picked 32 things and Butterfinger did not make it.
Well, that's because you guys have no taste. But anyway, there's a list of candies that I can't have. Maybe we could just make a list of candies Sheila's not allowed to eat, and then those will be like top. You know what I mean? That's probably why it's #1 to me, because I haven't been able to have it.
We're doing that.
How is that? Because I'm just gonna say like that sounds like a you problem.
Sure.
So I don't really see how that's our fault and how all of the rest of these candies suck because you have a problem. But
no. I'm not saying the rest of your candy suck because I can't eat peanut butter. I'm just saying the rest of your guys' candy sucks. And then moving on to the second point is that this candy's really good. You see what I'm saying?
But she also hasn't had it in 20 years. So
literally,
who knows? Who knows if she even thinks that is the case? Yeah. This is 10-year-old Sheila we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, her opinions
we have no idea what
so
30-year-old
over
Sheila
the top.
We have no idea what she actually thinks.
Right.
We
can test it out if somebody has an EpiPen on hand.
We'll just we have to do that.
Just do a quick bite and then EpiPen and then take them straight to the hospital.
We should do that. That should be a bit one week. We should just buy a bunch of EpiPens for Sheila and just have her sit here and eat candies. And
it's an expensive bit.
See what happens.
EpiPens are not cheap.
That's an expensive and life-threatening bit. So let's
Jesus Christ.
Be good TV though. Be good TV.
You want ratings that bad, huh?
Kill the girl.
We spent about over an hour last week talking about.
I do not want to spend another hour talking about candy.
We will not spend another hour. We maybe have 4 more choices on this week that we need to make. Besides that, we should not be taking too much time on our candy bracket Hambone, I hope I made you proud.
Thank you.
The
Good job.
next thing.
We did this one.
No, we never made a decision. No one ever made
Racist,
decisions.
like it's
we
not
were
even
talking
close.
about this, and
This
then
is
we never really
ridiculous.
got to it.
This is a ridiculous matchup. Like it's not even close.
I haven't had either.
Okay, so Hambone, what do you think?
Reese's egg, bro.
Okay,
Like
we're going Reese's
not
egg.
like by miles.
We're
Like
going
they're not
Reese's.
even in the same stratosphere. These
Yeah, I
two.
like this. All right, next.
we're moving through this one now.
Yes. Oh, we already know who's picking what.
Just kidding. Don't know about this one.
Mm.
All right, I'm gonna go to Con first on this one.
Tootsie Fruit Chews, and it's not even close. The Sour Mambas
Ooh.
are some of the best candy you will ever eat. However, the Tootsie Fruit Chews, yeah.
Hold on though. I gotta ask you something though, Con. When you eat Mambas, do you throw those wrappers on the ground too, or is it just Tootsie Rolls you do that with?
What do you think?
I think we all know.
There you go. There you go.
Nick, what do you say? I know what mine is, but you choose.
Here's the thing. I'm not particular on either of these. I'm not a big Tootsie Chews fan. I mean, maybe I could get through which first of all, the fact that the light blue one is a vanilla.
That's the
so
only one I
good.
don't eat.
Yeah.
I thought
That
one.
doesn't make any
That's the only
sense to
one I
me.
eat.
That's the only one.
That's
I do
probably
not
the
eat.
only one I will eat, right?
That's
what
the
Sheila
only one
said,
I'll
yeah.
eat.
So
Mhm.
that's but why is that in the Fruit Chews bag?
No,
I don't know.
I mean, you're right.
That doesn't make
I
any
feel
sense
like-
to me.
I feel like it's in there because you're supposed to eat like one vanilla with a fruit one and have like a cream fruit kind of thing with them.
Nah.
And you know
What does
what's
that, what does
crazy?
that look for?
A lot of
That's
times,
What about like cream
like-
savers? Like, come on, bro.
That's not
Yeah.
cream savers.
what's
Um,
what's fucked up about the packaging is most of the time 50% of the bag is the vanilla one.
So I bet you it is. I bet you.
Well, yeah, because you got to make the other 50% with the fruits.
You're supposed to do
put
like
them
a
together.
combo.
They even have like a little like vanilla ice cream on the front of the.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I do that because the vanilla ones are trash. I'm just saying I think that that's the intent. Is all I'm saying.
No, thank you.
You were going in the right direction for a second there, Hambone, and then you just like
Not for me.
So Con
I'll try that.
says Fruit Chews.
Absolutely.
Hamba, what do you say?
This one is difficult for me because I love both, but I am gonna go with Fruit Chews as well.
They're really good, man.
But I will say that Mambas are an underrated top tier.
Yeah, especially the sours. Again, I cannot stress enough the sours, but Mamba is an underrated candy.
Okay. Well, Fruit Chews
My
moves
fan.
on to the next one.
Mm.
Milky Way and Whoppers.
Whoppers.
All right, so real
Whoppers
quick,
are good.
y'all answer me this question: what is the
Mhm.
difference between a Milky Way and a Snickers?
Nuts.
There are no peanuts in Milky Ways, I believe.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
I think that's really it.
Oh,
I gotta be honest with you. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it's the same thing because I know it's caramel right on top of Milky Ways. I'm not sure if it's
Oh.
the same thing at the bottom layer of that is Snickers. So I don't want to like throw you off there, but I'm almost certain it just has no peanuts in it. You have a fan, Hambo.
Florida boy. She okay?
Shout out to Florida boy.
Oh, okay. All right. Mia had a lot, so she threw up.
So that would be my only thing is that Snickers don't have peanuts. So
Yeah, I just looked it up, and you are correct, Nick. That is the only difference.
Y'all
that's
like
really
Milky
funny
Way?
that they made an
That's our peanut.
entire new candy bar just to take something out of a candy bar.
Do y'all
I wonder
like
which one
Milky Way?
came first, actually.
Yeah,
Good to
nah.
see you, Florida boy. Con, what'd you say? Sorry.
I said, do y'all like Milky Way?
I
would
love
go with
Milky Ways.
Way. I think personally, I think both Milky Way and Snickers are a lot for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of either of them. If you're asking me, I'm definitely picking Whoppers here. Whoppers are definitely one of those candies where I can just like pour a couple in my hand and pop them in my mouth and be good. So my vote is on Whoppers here. Hambo, what say you?
My vote is for Milky Way because I'm not an 80-year-old person in the 1930s, so there's no reason to be eating malted milk.
We've already determined that
yeah,
I am an old
Milky Way.
man.
That's okay. All right, that's an interesting take.
Whoppers are so good.
They're not. They're awful.
They're like malt.
They're really not.
malt.
No,
Like
they're
vanilla.
terrible.
They're so
Yeah,
good.
nobody's eating fucking.
Thank
The
you.
household
Yeah.
is with the Whoppers
No,
here.
no, you're all wrong. Every time, so every year, like I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but for whatever reason, I live in like a little bumfuck town. But for whatever reason, thank you, Swiggity, thank you. We live in like this little village, and every year for Halloween we get a shit ton of trick-or-treaters. Like if you came to my house, you would think there's no way you get anybody here, and it's just every year it's more and more and more.
You live
and
in
every year, huh?
You live in a neighborhood?
Yeah, I live in like a village in the middle of cow fields for miles and miles on both sides.
No, I wouldn't think.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so I always buy. We get candy. We get a lot of candy, and we always give out candy, and we get like the big bags with all the little things in it. You know what's always left at the end of the night? Whoppers. Every
no counting for bad years.
Because they're awful.
You're not giving the Whoppers to the kids.
All right, Whoppers aren't. I'm obviously not like going crazy for the Whoppers for obvious reasons, but I don't think they're that bad because I was actually gonna pick the Whoppers. I'm not picking the Milky Way.
I mean, you can pick them. You're wrong, but you can pick them.
Sure,
still pick them.
They're fantastic.
Whoppers?
Yeah, I'll pick the Whoppers.
Hell yeah.
Moving on.
Stick it to Hammy.
Awful.
I genuinely think that's an upset. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, it definitely is.
This is the last one. Fun Dip or Pixie Sticks?
They're both ass.
I'm not letting you get that. I'm not letting you get that off. That's a horrible take. And I love you, but that's a bad take.
Florida Boys with the Skittles. Shout out to you, Florida Boy.
Oh, you missed last episode
Skittles.
then, Florida Boy.
Yeah, do we have Skittles? Skittles won?
Skittles won.
Yeah.
I think it was Skittles and M&Ms.
Florida Boy tune in next week. We got Skittles going against Lindor Chocolate.
We already know Fun Dip's gonna win this one because it's
I'm picking Pixie Stick.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm picking Pixie Stick.
I'm going with Fun Dip.
Ooh,
Fun Dip is like
don't do this to me.
Fun Dip is like getting a Pixie Stick and then getting an extra piece of candy on top of that to put in the Pixie Stick.
Yeah, but it's basically a piece of chalk.
Yeah.
Well, so are Whoppers, but you guys are eating them, so
I don't know. I don't even know if I would eat that thing when I'm eating.
Yeah, I already made it clear that I'm not going to the Whoppers. That was just a choice that I was willing to make between that and the Milky Way. I'm not picking the Milky Way.
He's right.
They kind of were.
Yeah.
A lot of kids in my school used to put that shit up their nose.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a Florida thing, but
Florida
like they
boy
used to do
confirmed.
it.
Florida boy confirms with Florida man.
See what I'm saying? Florida.
Sheila is Florida man.
Hey, babe, let her out.
Florida boy confirms that is what people do with Pixie Sticks. Just because, or to get back on topic, I was not a huge fan of the Fun Dip craze. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not big into that piece of chalk that you would just lick and put into the sugar when you could literally just do the same thing with Pixie Sticks and just pour it down your mouth. So, and I don't know how else to say that without sounding weird. So,
yeah, you can't. I don't think there is no.
You
way.
can't. So you have to pour it down your mouth, and that's it.
This is a judgment-free zone, except
that's a lie. There's a lot of judgment here.
There's so much judgment.
I'm picking the Pixie Stick though.
Yeah, no, we're picking Pixie Sticks. That is going to be the winner there. So I can go back and show us what exactly will the matchups be. So the matchups next week will be Lindor versus Skittles, which Florida boy you have to pull up to. And then we have Mouse.
I agree with Pink Mike Girl. Her name is right there.
I don't know if you know they're Florida boy, but her name is right
there.
Her name is right there.
Bro. I agree with Pink Mike Girl.
Jesus Christ. The lack of like just accountability for men to just learn women's names real quick. It's just really funny.
Yeah, we're shit. We're such shit. Her name's
Pink
right
Mike
there.
girl.
Nope, Pink Mike. That works for me.
Pink Mike girl, bro. All right, we're gonna Lindor versus Skittles. We're gonna have Mounds versus Reese's. We're gonna have Reese's Sticks versus Starburst. We're gonna have Jolly Ranchers versus Tootsie Pop. We're gonna have Gummy
Jolly
Bears
Rancher's
versus
gonna
Sour Gummy
win.
Worms, which I think might be a real
Mom.
one. Airheads versus Nerds Gummy Clusters. Reese's Eggs versus Fruit Chews, and Whoppers versus Pixie Sticks. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Should be a good show. Should be a good one. Tune in next week to see all that.
And also, John Cena will be here next week. So
John Cena will also be here next week, and
John
he will
Cena
go
is
over
getting
to Candy with
interviewed
us.
on this podcast next week.
Let's move on to what we all watched yesterday. Crown Jewel. Sheila, did you watch it all?
Yeah.
How'd y'all feel about this?
Did you really watch it? No. So here's the thing. We talked about the fact that Crown Jewel was a non-canon thing, but I feel like a lot of storylines got pushed further because of this. So I feel like we can't really do that with non-canon. I know you kind of said like, you know, it's kind of not been the case for the last couple of years. But it's kind of just still like the overall look at it. But I think a lot of storylines got pushed because of this.
Truthfully, I think the only match that I probably was not invested in was the main event.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know why. But like, and it wasn't a bad match. Like, it wasn't a bad match. I just was not into it. It was the only match in the card that just didn't really do anything for me for some reason.
Okay.
And then I'm on the complete opposite side of that main event. And I did not expect to say this for Crown Jewel, but that main event is match of the year candidate for me. Straight up, just a straight up back and forth wrestling match, a pure heel versus a pure face. No funny business, no bullshit endings, nothing. Just, it was a great match to me. That was my favorite match of the card.
Really?
I'm not really sure. Hold on, I'll look at it real quick, make sure I'm not overstepping or anything. But besides the ending, I think I still was messing with Bronson versus Seth the most.
I think that's probably the match that I was the most into.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the one. I thought I was going to get a little more viciousness out of Bronson Reed. I mean, he was definitely, doing his thing. Don't get me wrong.
I was more amazed with how he was able to keep up with Seth because that match was going on for a minute. And, Bronson's a big dude and, bigger dudes just, you don't really see them wrestle that long for the most part. So the fact that he was able to go that long with somebody like Seth Rollins, who, I've been vocal, I'm not crazy about, but I am able to recognize that he's him. But that was probably the most, that was what stood out the most to me was just the fact that he was able to hang. So, yeah.
And can we talk about that gear real quick? Because that's going on.
Bronson's gear.
That's going on.
That's
March Madrip right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Doom tribute that was fucking cold. That was cold, bro.
So let's go through just the matches real quick. We don't have to spend too much time on too much because there's not really a whole lot to talk about, really. But we can go through one by one and just give a little bit of our thoughts. So this opened, which I was very surprised about because it seemed like online that everyone was saying this was going to be the main event.
Which I don't know.
I'm really glad it wasn't because this didn't need to be.
When you got champion versus champion, that would have been crazy for that to not be the main event.
Right. I understand it's Roman Reigns, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's not everything revolves around him anymore. I mean, I think we pretty much got everything out of this match that we could have gotten out of it. I think the fact that Solo pinned Roman was a big deal. And I think that's like something that really kind of got glanced over a little bit is that the fact that happened. Like Roman went for years without getting pinned. And like, is this no, it's not his first match back because he fought
I think that
Cody.
was That was the thing that surprised me the most about it. Not just like getting pinned by Solo, but like clean. Like there was really no bullshit in it. No real cheating. No nothing. Just clean Solo win.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah,
He's really trying to get the rest of his family over.
Porter Boy said it was a botch during the match. I don't remember seeing a botch.
Not that we're supposed to be looking for him, but there was a few things in that match that just kind of looked a little weird on my end. I remember at one point, I don't know who Jay did it to. It might have been Tama Tonga. There was like this weird thing. Oh, the pin. Remember the pin?
Pin. That was glaring. Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know. I think it was Jay or Roman was like getting pinned or something like that.
Yeah, Roman was getting pinned. I think Jay was the one who was jumping in, but Jay completely
missed. It was Jimmy. It was Jimmy.
Jimmy.
It was Jimmy, but
one of them completely missed.
It was three. Like it was clearly three.
Clearly three. Like no, there was no way you could have told me that because like that ref's hand was gonna hit. Like, and then there was like a second where like then they were like, oh, it wasn't. And it was like, no, it was. But
yeah, that might be what he's talking about because I remember that.
I personally don't look for botches, but when they're that glaring,
but there was another one, and again, we're not pointing out, but like you know, homeboy brought it up, but I think it was Jay and Tama Tonga. There was this like thing where Jay was like supposed to. It looked like he was going for like a really hard clothesline or maybe a lariat, and I don't think he hit it when he was supposed to. And you know, sometimes when wrestlers get hit really hard with that clothesline, they do that like kind of flip thing.
Yeah,
it looked like Jay was supposed to hit him, and he kind of instead hit him with the shoulder, and Thomas still did the flip. Like I caught that too, and I was like, that looked a little weird too.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm not big into.
It happens, bro. We couldn't do a quarter of the move, so that's why I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here.
Yeah, that's why I don't like to be that person because people love being that person. They love
like, bro,
oh, they botched it. They fucked it up. It's like, dude, accidents happen. A and B.
They practice it.
So crazy.
They practice it. You fucking do it.
Yeah, right. So, like, dude, just walk into the ring, you guys will be gassed. Yeah. So I don't want to hear about you calling out botches and shit. Any more thing to say about this one right here?
I like the match. Yeah, I mean, it was, and it, like we kind of said, we kind of expected it to go down the way that it went down.
Yeah.
We saw Sammy come out. That was cool to see Sammy come out.
I was a little surprised by that. I was not expecting to see that. I mean, I somewhat was, but I wasn't. Like, I was like, I don't know. You know. Finn, how do you feel about this match?
Ethan asked if we all saw John Cena on Kai Cenat's stream.
I saw some clips.
I saw a little bit of it.
I saw some clips.
I saw some clips. That shit was hilarious.
Saw some clips.
Hey,
yeah, we
Are you joining?
Yeah, I saw some clips. I saw some just like inspiration.
Finn is joining the podcast as our fifth. Just letting you guys know.
Finn's our mascot. Hey, you know, it's free bird rules. Our dog's our mascot.
Yeah.
Hambone, anything more to say about this? No. Let's get on to the next one then. This one surprised me of how good it really was.
Real good match.
Yeah,
their outfits were so cool.
They all
have that really cool.
Yeah,
all the girls
really
came
cool.
out fire. Yeah.
I definitely I put Jade and Bianca they're on March Madrid for their outfits here. I wanted to put Io and Kyrie on too, but I cannot find any good pictures of it.
Okay.
So if any y'all come across them, just shoot them to me.
I will. I was making fun of their Jade and Bianca's thing because I was just really worried that those little bejewels were gonna like come off and like just like get in someone's eye or something. I was really
a bunch of them definitely came off.
That like literally like the minute they started like hitting the ring, I was seeing like crumbles of them just like all over the ring. I was like, dude, this is dangerous. Like this is like they need to switch this to a no DQ because someone's gonna get hurt. Like
it's the equivalent of the thumbtacks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There might as well be thumbtacks out there, man. Like Bianca knew what she was doing. Because you know she made those probably.
Oh yeah, I assume she made them.
Yeah, so Bianca knew what she was doing. She got the edge on there, and that's how they won. They won by cheating. Good job.
Is it
No,
cheating?
I was very surprised at how good this match was because usually
Yeah.
with Fatal 4-Ways, especially when it's a tag team Fatal 4-Way, I get kind of like it's
Crash and
spot
burn.
festy. Yeah, crash and burn, but also spot festy. Just
Yeah.
kind of just be like kind of they're gonna run through a routine and then someone's gonna pop out and win, right? So, but this was really cool. But yeah, it's really
It was a really good match.
Yeah.
Match of the night for me.
Yeah, the same for me. I think I wanted to see a little more viciousness from Bronson, just like we saw to begin this feud.
Yeah.
But like Han said, like the fact that he even kept up with Seth is really like kind of impressive on its own. And
not that I had
think we're done.
doubts. Not that I had doubts that he couldn't keep up with Seth.
Yeah,
I didn't expect the match to go on that long.
Not
that I didn't have a problem with that either. I didn't have a problem with how long it was either. It wasn't crazy long, but it went on longer than expected for me. And I was just very surprised to see that he was still able to keep going with Seth because I didn't expect the match to go on that long, but it was still match of the night for me.
It was
and I wasn't happy that Bronson lost because I definitely said that Bronson was going to be the one to win. But I did like that after the match, Bronson got up and said, "Let's run it back."
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on. Like, I know that like all of us were thinking Bronson for the most part, and then like when you got on social media after it, everybody was upset about, oh, Seth didn't need that. Seth didn't need that. And while I agree, and I think that it would have been better for Bronson to win, I still think that they did a really good job of making him look like an absolute fucking monster in that. What Seth had to do to beat him is way more than he would have had to do to beat most other people.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, 3 stomps, one of them was a super one from the top rope, and then you just get that shot of Bronson at the end still standing, like not but just in the ring still standing up, and then Seth going, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like literally saying it right on camera, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I think that they can still really make a star out of Bronson Reed with this feud. I think they should have 2 more matches.
Yeah.
And I think that Bronson should win both of them.
And I think these next 2 matches I wouldn't be mad at them for them to be like some type of stipulation match. So like that's standing. No holds barred.
I was gonna say what I'd like to see is one more just regular normal match. Have Bronson just really like beat the shit out of Seth and win it, and then have a third that's a stipulation and have Bronson win that one too and walk away the winner.
Stipulation.
Last man standing or an ambulance match is
I
would want to see them kind of do something like that. Maybe still cage, but like none of that like escape shit. I hate a steel cage match where like the person climbs out the cage. Like I just want to see them kill each other. But if you're asking me how to continue with this feud, if they continue with it, the way Hambone broke it down, maybe one more singles where Bronson just fucks Seth up, like just totally, and then the last one, last man standing, ambulance, steel cage, something.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
But yeah, I want to see them run it back because that was a really good match.
Easily, we'll see it. I would like it to like really be like on a big pay-per-view too.
Matter of fact, tomorrow night, when Raw comes on, I want to see Bronson. I want to see Seth come out, and I want to see Bronson pull up, and I want to see them get into a big fucking fight. I want to see.
That's been his thing too.
On-site Bronson Reed, baby.
Yeah. That
should be his name. Drop that big shit, and he's just
get rid of that big
Bronson
shit.
Reed.
On-site Bronson, bro.
No matter where it is.
Don't matter, bro.
Bronson's gonna come after your ass.
Yeah, I want to see them get in a fight tomorrow.
This
was the worst of the night for me.
Yeah, this was not.
Yeah, this one kind of blew me.
This one didn't do what I thought it would do, and I mean, I don't know how much it was going to do to begin with,
bro. There was a couple, like, first off, Tiffany Stratton, and I said this in the chat, sis, you got to act like you've been there before because you came out there way too early to cash in, bro. Way too early. You didn't even wait for them to be down. You didn't wait for the match to be over. You just came out. You just came out, and then you leave, and then you come back, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I want to get, bro." I don't know why old girl just couldn't wait for a better time. That really bugged me.
I said she needed to watch film.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
That's not how people cash
Yeah,
in.
she's just.
That is not how people cash in.
They were
bro.
both still standing. I'm like, you want to cash in right now?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, man.
That was definitely I don't know if they dropped a ball necessarily, but
I don't want to call it drop a ball, but it was just
not
like,
what
yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of expected out of these two. Just looking at them from two fighter standpoints, I expected something pretty good, and I didn't really get it.
I think there were two things that went into this match being disappointing. One of them was, and we were all guilty of this too, is I think a lot of fans put the pressure on the match that, well, Tiffy's coming in and she's cashing in. So we didn't get that moment that a lot of people were expecting to get.
Yeah.
But more so than that, I feel like one of the other things that like really kind of made this match just is the fact that they're both heels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's not a lot of people rooting for either of these women, you know, when you're talking about casual fans, especially if you're talking about Saudi, probably, you know.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't. I wasn't pulling for either of them. I didn't care. You know, I'm not a huge fan of either of these women. I feel like that's kind of the sentiment from most of, you know, the fan base.
Nah. Most of the fans wanted Nia to win. And I was definitely part of most of the fans. And I think most of us expected Nia to win. I thought this was.
Yeah, I mean, she was my pick. I
thought this was a shoe-in. So
yeah,
we all picked Nia.
Yeah, bro. So just the whole shit with Tiff, I was just like, why now? Like, I just thought that was such. I think that was just such bad timing to call it cash-in.
I may have also I may have went with Liv now that I'm thinking about it, but we did our prediction before we all knew that Rhea was officially injured.
Yeah,
because my whole thing was, Rhea's going to come out and cost her.
Yeah,
and then we found out on Tuesday, Rhea's actually legitimately injured.
Yeah, man. So I mean, again, like, nothing but opportunity for Liv, but I was just very, very surprised that Nia did not win this because I thought that this was cake for her.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else? Oh, Jesus Christ!
We're just throwing this one out, right? This doesn't even count in our predictions, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't count. Yeah, no. In the predictions, no, it's a push. Yeah,
and I'll be honest, that kind of blows me because I wanted to see this match.
Man,
we fight. We definitely fight.
If we being honest, I'm kind of okay with it ending the way that it did because. And this, I don't know, man. It might sound weird because I still like them and I still want to see them wrestle, but I feel like we kind of know what we would have gotten out of a Kevin Owens and Randy Orton match. Like, I've seen them go at it a couple times, so I feel like there would have been nothing different other than just this new storyline that Kevin Owens just isn't quite right there in the head. So I kind of liked that they went this direction instead. Because another thing is I like Kevin Owens and I like Randy Orton, and I didn't want to see either of them lose the match. So yeah, I like that they went this route.
What do you think, Pink White Girl?
Yeah, Pink White Girl.
I've seen this match before, multiple times, and I'm just a casual fan. So
that'll happen when both guys have been there for like 10 plus years.
Well, no, it's this particular, like the way I'm emphasizing like these two, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just that you know, I want to get excited about a match because I love Kevin Owens and I love Randy Orton, but like I've seen this before.
Yeah, like times. This wasn't enough for me to like if it was just a regular match, I probably would have tuned out at some point. But them just tossing the match out and them just beating the shit out of each other, that's much more interesting to me.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I like them both, and I wouldn't be. I'm a big KO fan though. I'm rooting for KO all the time. Like I'm always gonna root for the underdog.
Yeah, I love KO's recent thing of wearing whoever his opponents is their father's gear.
I love it.
Do y'all think we see this again?
Say again.
Are they going to run this back, you guys think? Or what do you think?
I mean, I feel like they gotta.
Yeah.
With the way that happened. Yeah.
I think now that they've had this little fight over in Crown Jewel, the match that they set up for it, I'll tune into that match with this being the thing that kind of happened first. Because, again, them going into just a regular match, I don't know if I would have been all the way invested in that. But, I just watched them kill each other. And so going into this next match that I hope to set up for, I'd probably watch that one.
Stipulation.
Stipulation.
Stipulation on that shit.
Stipulation.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'd say I don't know, man. I've had a real affinity for ambulance matches.
Honestly,
I've been having a real affinity for ambulance matches lately. Like these two, I would definitely want to see them do something like that.
That'd be. I think KO would smoke an ambulance match if it's Randy.
Have we seen him do one before? He did one with. Did he do one with Sammy?
Did he do
that?
One?
Doesn't sound familiar to me, but
I remember Randy did one with Edge. Am I lying? Didn't that happen?
Bro, I do.
Like 4 years ago.
Don't get me.
I want to say they had an ambulance match. But maybe not. I don't know.
Man, I don't know.
I would that would be fire.
Yeah, but I would see something like that with these two.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens had a ambulance match with Braun Strowman at TLC in 2016.
Boy, I don't remember that.
Yeah, Braun Strowman. I'm tuned to forget that. No offense to Braun Strowman. That's what it is.
I totally get it.
Was it?
I don't have very.
So
Drew?
here's what I'll say about this, right? Because we were all kind of like, on this match, right? This match was better than I expected it to be. One of the things that I thought when I watched this match was it reminded me of triple threats from like the 90s. When they first started doing like triple threats in the 90s, like it was always, I loved them because it was always all three guys in the ring at the same time. There was just constant action. They're using each other against each other, stuff like that. And then I feel like in the last 10 years, maybe more, triple threats really changed to where, we're gonna knock one guy out of the ring for 5 to 10 minutes, and then these two guys are just gonna go at it, and then one of them is gonna go out, and the other guy is gonna come back in, and then we're just gonna have two again. This match was not that. It kind of was a throwback to the way that old triple threat matches were, the type that I really enjoyed watching. So I like this match a lot more than I expected to.
I don't have too strong of feelings, so
I don't have much to say about this match.
Yeah, I mean, I think LA Knight retaining was probably the best option. I'm still, we said it last week, but like I'm still not there with Melo, and my feelings on Andrade are very on record. Main event with
match of the year candidate for me, but I already said that.
You said what?
I am also very glad that I was wrong and no Goldberg.
Yeah. So on the show, Hambone had said Gunther, as well as me and Khan said Gunther. We all said Gunther, and then like maybe in the next day or a couple days later, they had said that that Goldberg was going to appear in Saudi Arabia and be there, which made us all think that he might interfere with this match because of the face-to-face that they had. When was that?
It's been a couple weeks now,
2-3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, they had a face-to-face, and it looked like it was going to get physical, which I think it did get physical a little bit, didn't it?
No, Goldberg never even got in the ring. They held him back.
Yeah, they held him back. That's what it was. Yeah. So it was on its edge to get physical. And then so it kind of looked like that was kind of the way it was swinging. So Hambo decided he wanted to change his name to or change his pick to Cody. But me and Con, we stuck to Gunther just because we weren't sure. But you ended up being correct after switching your pick, so that worked out for you.
Well, stop.
Not for the reason, but
not for the same reason. But yeah. I mean, I am shocked that Cody won. I still think
I'm surprised
Gunther. I really thought Gunther was going to be the winner here.
No,
I just see this.
I saw that too. I thought he was already retired before this Gunther shit.
No official retirement.
Okay.
He always kept saying that he wanted WWE to allow him to have an official retirement.
Yeah, I think he wants to send off.
Gotcha. I mean, I'm not mad at that. I guess he despite what we say, no one asked. Despite that, I guess he deserves that. He does deserve that.
He deserves that.
If he wants that. Bro, I get it. We don't like him, but he's still dubbed like a lovable.
I knew who
Hall of Fame
Goldberg
wrestler.
was before I was a wrestling
Yeah, man.
fan,
So if a
that's
guy like that,
something,
despite how we may
yeah.
personally feel about him, if he's saying he wants that, he's granted that.
He definitely transcended wrestling a little bit for me.
Yeah,
I knew who he was before.
Bro, trust me, that video that I did on TikTok about like moves and who they belong to, every day I am getting at least, I'm not playing, y'all, at least 4 people that say it's Goldberg's and you fucking know it when I talk about the spear.
With the spear?
Every day, bro.
Oh,
right now, as we speak, there's just endless Goldberg fans telling me and letting me know you better watch that shit you said about that spear.
Lord almighty.
They're not playing, bro. They're on my ass.
Jesus. Well, more power to them, I guess.
More power to them, bro. I don't want no smoke with Goldberg fans.
Nah.
I'll have smoke with Goldberg fans. Ain't none of y'all actually even watching anymore.
Despite the outcome and everything like that, I mean, we have much more to say about this right here.
Sheila's saying, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
Well, she wants to tell her story.
Let's wrap this up.
I do have one more thing to say about Crown Jewel, though, is that we tied.
Wow.
Have we done that before? Have we done that before?
We have done that one more time. Once we Elimination Chamber, we tied. We all went 4-0 in Elimination Chamber. This is the only time we've ever tied like this, though. 3 and 3.
I'd have been fucked if I didn't change that main event.
And honestly, we would have tied either way if KO had won or lost, because we all picked KO. So yeah. And then this is our full results here. Khan is still very much in the lead.
You see it?
Yeah, Khan is out here.
You see it?
I mean, he's very much in the lead of you. He's only like a little bit ahead of me.
Oh, you see how he did that?
Yeah, see how he just said he had to swing that one in.
Yeah, man.
I mean, he's like double the amount ahead of you.
68% percentage is a.
Listen, there's no different levels of losing, bro. Losing is losing, my man. Losing is losing, dog.
Yeah, we see the Elimination Chamber here. We did 4-0 there.
What did we say we were doing? We were just doing the year, right? And then resetting?
Yeah. The year. So we got, I think we got
2 more.
2 more or 3 more. Full Gear. I was gonna ask.
Oh yeah,
guys,
I'm not even. Yeah,
I was gonna ask you guys wanted to do the Saturday night main event thing as a pay-per-view in our predictions, but I'm not really sure how that is. I don't even know what that really is.
It's just gonna be a bunch of random matches. Ain't gonna be.
Yeah,
anything.
man.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Okay. So, all right. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me get this all set up for the Screen Queen.
It's story time.
It is story time.
Spooky.
Oh, and then she left.
And then she leaves.
Wow.
She's gone. I decided to give her a purple.
What a professional.
I decided to give her a purple background with some yellow letters. What do y'all think?
Oh, I see. So you took off your your hat, huh, Nick? After that professional comment from her, I see.
I did. I feel like
all right, let me get my lights off.
Yeah, let me turn my lights off too. I'm not gonna have great lights.
Oh, Mia. It's not spooky time if you're squeaking the fucking pig.
So we went to Sheila's mom's house like an hour and a half before the show, and Nick, Finn got like 2 baskets full of fucking toys. But since we got Mia, he doesn't play with his toys anymore. He won't touch none of them. Doesn't
really,
bro. He's a completely different dog, bro. Like all he wants to do all day is just sleep. So, but Mia very much still loves toys. So we just brought her a bunch of like some of his old but favorites. And what do you think she fucking took to the most?
That fucking pig.
The fucking pig, bro.
God damn it. I fucking hate that pig.
She loves the fucking pig.
She loves the pig.
No, Mia, pick another toy.
But I need to explain to you what this fucking pig is.
Well, let me show it to you
let me see it, because I might already be in the same boat.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the pig.
So that's not the pig. That's not the pig I was thinking of. My dogs also have a pig, but it's not that. But we have had that pig, and they did enjoy it.
And it's a slimy, rubbery, like it doesn't absorb the moisture from their mouths. So it's just slick always, perpetually slimy. And the thing is, so a little lore, Nick wears shorts all the time.
Yeah, it's rare Nick wears pants.
It's rare to see Nick wear pants.
Unless he's like working.
Easy. Yeah. So he would come over to wherever it was that we were, and here come the dogs loving him. Finn specifically loves Nick so much.
And this is before Nick had the patience. Like Nick learned husky patience. This is before he learned that.
Yeah. So Finn would go to greet him, and being really excited as he was, he'd grab the fucking pig and just run into his leg and just slam into his leg over and over again. And now his poor leg is like slick.
Yeah, Nick wasn't feeling it, man. He was not a fan.
No, he was not.
I think perpetually slimy is another good name for this podcast.
That's a good one. Mia. Ooh, I like it.
I hate that pig.
Yeah.
If I ever find that pig.
Hey, Dad, could you come put Mia in her crib, please?
All right, let me go be a dad.
I definitely thought that this was intro music for Sheila's segment.
I like it.
And it was just for Nick to threaten the pig.
She wants the pig so bad.
It was just for me to threaten the pig. Oh, my God.
My God.
Down goes the laptop.
Oh.
This is going well.
Yeah.
Professional right here. How many times has this professional gone off screen tonight? This is at least 3 or 4, right?
Hey, I'll take it. We're not here to be professional. I'm okay with it.
Kept your hat on, I see.
I mean, kept my mic on too.
Ooh.
And my camera all night.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have.
Oh, that's funny.
There we go.
I do have a song.
Which one?
That I thought would be cool for your intro.
Should I? No. It was between.
I don't think she can hear me. Oh, this shit. Besides this.
Ooh, I like.
Well, this is Undertaker, but
thanks, Dad.
I did find something I thought was cool. It was copyright free, so no one can sue me.
I like that. Big fan.
It's very X-Filesy.
A little bit. I have X-Files too, by the way.
Love it. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Now, before we start, I just want to make sure if I speak quietly in the mic, you guys can still hear.
Yeah.
Okay. So, trigger warning for suicide. And don't mute.
Oh yeah, she doesn't want to.
Yeah, I want this to be interactive. So you don't have to mute. Reactions, all that. After 2 years, I finally read my dad's suicide note. I really should have read it sooner.
Oh. All right. Like trigger warning for suicide and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Trigger warning for soup on the side.
Yeah, soup on the side.
Okay.
Self-transitioning.
Wow. I took a deep breath to stop the slight shaking in my hand, whispering my affirmation on the exhale. I'm ready for this. I'm ready. Before sliding the blue line notebook paper out from its envelope, I was finally ready to read my dad's suicide note. It took me almost 2 years to get to this point of acceptance and readiness. Oh, I haven't read this story, by the way.
Okay.
These are stories that have been recommended to me, so I'm going to be reacting to them physically the same way you guys are.
Buckle up.
2 years ago, I was known as a bright, energetic girl who was ready to take on the world. Having just finished high school as a class valedictorian, I was following in my father's footsteps and received a full-ride scholarship to his alma mater, where I was also to compete nationally on the women's track team. All of this was possible thanks to the support of my favorite person in the world, my dad. Growing up as far back as I can remember, it was just me and him. He told me that my mother had given in to her drug addictions and walked out when I was still an infant. He always told me I looked just like her, which I can verify by the pictures he showed me. That being said, he never was able to find her. Nobody knows if she's even alive. My dad didn't hesitate to be the perfect dad, regardless of losing my mom. You and I were a team, he always told me. Together, there's nothing we can't handle. And that was true. Every day he'd take me to school, head straight to work, just to come home and shuttle me to all of my extracurriculars. Sometimes he forced me to do my homework, but it always got done before bed. Dad was genuinely my best friend. I'm just going to skip ahead to the fluff stuff. That weekend, we spent all Saturday moving my things into my new college dorm. I remember that day like it was yesterday. We talked and laughed all day and unpacked and set up the furniture together. Remember, we're a team, he told me, finally choking back the tears getting ready for a 3-hour drive home. Together, there's nothing we can't handle, I finished for him. And with that, he climbed into his pickup and drove off. I cried myself to sleep, thinking about how I had never gone more than a day without seeing him, and now I was supposed to live on my own. I woke up early the next day, still wearing my jeans from moving day. Realizing I hadn't stayed up to get the text from my dad ensuring he made it home safely, I picked up my phone to check for his text. But naturally, the battery was dead. Naturally? Bitch, charge your phone. I connected the charger and the coffee. Naturally. Fuck out of here.
It's called charger.
Charger.
Grow the fuck up, lady.
Yeah, for real, bro.
You're in college now.
I don't want to interject because we're telling the story, but like, if you're one of those people that constantly just like, oh, my phone's always dying, that's some childish shit, bro.
That's
on you.
That's on you.
Charge your fucking
while you
phone,
sleep,
bro.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves. You really don't plug your phone in next to the bed. Like you don't have a charger next to your bed.
You're not doing nothing with it. Plug it in.
Grow the fuck up and act like real life occurs to you as well.
Right. Moral of the story: charge your goddamn phone.
Hate that
anyway.
shit. Hate that shit.
I hate that shit. But naturally, no, not naturally. Nobody does that.
Charge your fucking phone.
Anyway, I connected the charger, got the coffee pot started while I waited for my phone to charge. It would have been anyway. By the time I got back to my bedroom, the phone had enough juice to turn on. I put in my passcode and went straight to the messaging app, but there was no message from my dad. I immediately had a bad feeling about that. It seemed so unlike him to not send a message when he got home. My mind started jumping to a lot of what ifs. What if he had been in an accident? What if he was in the hospital? I called hoping he'd pick up the phone and calm my anxiety, but the call went straight to his cheery and sarcastic voicemail. This is Darren. Sorry I missed your call. Leave a message and I'll probably call you back. Hey, Dad, this is Aaron. Sorry I fell asleep. Just wanted to know you got home okay. Call me. Darren and Aaron?
This is made up. This is fake.
Darren and Aaron.
Fake story.
Darren and Aaron. They couldn't have picked better names?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
What
I
a
bet he
parent.
doesn't charge his phone either.
Right.
He definitely doesn't.
Fucking Darren. Darren, charge your phone. Okay. I'm sure he just fell asleep and hasn't gotten up yet. I told myself out loud. I continued to try and reassure myself that nothing was wrong, but it didn't help. I just couldn't squash that feeling that something was wrong. An hour passed, then 2, then 3. I must have called at least a dozen times, but every call had the same result, straight to voicemail. By the time it was noon, I knew something had to be wrong. If my dad slept until 7:30, that was sleeping in for him, even on a Sunday. I did the next
7:30. Sorry.
Yeah, 7:30 a.m. Sounds like somebody I know. If they sleep past like 8 o'clock, then it's too much.
Oh my lord.
She's talking about me, and
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The whole morning is gone. If I sleep.
I hate to waste a day.
I say that about 10.
I hate to waste a
like,
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7:30.
7:30 is like militant. Like it's if you grew up in a military family, 7:30.
I get that from my dad, but like dead ass though, I hate to waste a day, man. I really do.
Yeah, especially a morning.
Mm.
I did the next thing I could think of and called my Uncle Dan, who lived only 25 minutes away. Hey, Uncle Dan, sorry to bother you, but have you heard from my dad? He never called to say he made it home. And now he's not answering his phone. Oh, I'm sure he's fine. He's probably just sleeping. He's an empty nester now, or maybe he's just working on that old Camaro. Maybe he'll finally get it running, Dan said with a laugh. Look, I said while pacing my room, somewhat annoyed by his lack of concern, can you please just do me a favor and go check on him? I'd love to, but I'm at the lake right now, having myself a nice, quiet fishing trip. But I'll tell you what, if you haven't heard from him by later this afternoon, I'll stop by on my way home and smack him for you. All right, thanks, Dan, I said before hanging up, not even trying to hide my disappointment. I couldn't understand how Dan could just blow off the fact that Dad hasn't called me. I knew my dad better than anybody, and this wasn't normal. I called the highway patrol next, asked them if there had been any accidents for an 06 Chevy Silverado. Thankfully, and there had been none. After that, I called the local police for my dad's city, asking them to file a missing persons or do a wellness check. They blew me off the same way Uncle Dan did, telling me he's an adult and has no obligation to check in with his teenage daughter.
They only do that with men, by the way.
Yeah.
police. I've done this before, called for like wellness checks. They don't do that for men. They don't go check on men. They'll check on women,
Oh.
but they won't check on men.
Talk about it, Nick.
It's a conspiracy.
Talk about it, Nick. Yeah, men's mental health matters too, y'all.
When it's a man,
bro.
like I'm not saying men don't like whatever have a
No, I
privilege or
hear
whatever
you.
it is, but
I
like
hear
when you call like I think my Uncle Jim is missing. Well, your Uncle Jim is a 45-year-old man. We don't care about him. But when my
He's
Aunt
probably out
Jamie
sleeping
is
with the
missing,
secretary. Right.
oh my God, call everyone, search the woods hand in hand.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it. When you
Anyway.
check on her, check on him too.
Yeah.
Check on him too. I feel you, bro.
Hashtag check on him too.
Woo.
That's crazy.
Okay. The tea is hot.
I don't want to say the obvious, which is, I'm really glad that's the one thing we have. But, with Amendment 4 and everything going on right now, like I don't, I'm really glad
we'll check
that
on
we
y'all.
have that.
We'll
Yeah,
check on
right?
you. Yeah.
We won't do anything about it.
We won't do
but we'll
anything to
check
help
on
you, but we'll check on you. Yeah.
Right.
We'll pop in.
We'll pop
in.
We'll stick our heads in real quick,
We'll
but
pop in.
Y'all good?
Y'all good?
Oh, you're not?
Hey, y'all good?
Sorry.
Not,
that's the extent of my capability is checking to see if
that's
you're okay.
Crazy. Damn, that's crazy. You not? Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy. To top off this conversation before I get back into it, I think everybody should watch Woman of the Hour. I really think everybody should watch that movie.
I watched it. It's good.
Fantastic fucking movie.
Yep, me and Kat watched it. It's really good.
It's really good. So,
I haven't watched it.
What's
it about?
Homework for this weekend. If you like women, watch Woman of the Hour.
Woman of the Hour is about.
I'm gonna take that under advisement. But it's really gonna depend on what happens on Tuesday, whether or not I can handle watching something like that.
I got you.
But
I understand.
It's a good movie though. It is.
It is a good movie. It's set in the 80s. I mean, and it's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
We can move on. We can stop talking about women's issues and just keep talking about a scary made up story.
Election.
Yeah, like most people do.
Right. I like to ignore things. By 2 p.m., still with no phone call and nobody that would take me seriously, I grabbed the keys to my dainty maroon sedan and started driving. I drove fast. I couldn't help it, but I made it home in just 2.5 hours. I felt my heart speed up and hit a little harder as I pulled into my neighborhood, anxious to get some answers. As the garage door opened, I could see the Chevy Silverado in the garage next to the rusty old Camaro with parts and tools scattered around. Feeling a little relieved, I took a deep breath and let my chest push the air back out. "Dad?" I called out as I walked in through the door. His keys, wallet, and his cell phone all lay in place by the old beat-up brown shelf next to the door. "Dad, are you home?" There was still no answer as I peeked out into the backyard. It seemed as though the home I'd known my whole life had never been so quiet. It was usually filled with the sounds of conversation, laughter, music, or sports playing in the living room. Tonight, however, the silence in the house was so muted that each stair creak sounded like the house was moaning in pain as if it was forcing to tell a dark secret. "Hey, Dad?" I called out a little softer this time, scared to disturb the leering silence. I gave his bedroom door a soft knock, then twisted the doorknob and pushed lightly, encouraging it to slowly open with a drawn-out, squealing creak. That's where I found him. The first thing I noticed was blood. The headboard of his bed had a deep red, almost black in the middle, spatter of blood. It looked as if someone had filled a large water balloon with blood and launched it at the headboard. The splatters projected upwards from the headboard, leaving long streaks up the wall and even onto the ceiling. Laying on the bed was my father, thankfully slumped in a way that I could not see his head and face. Next to him was a 12-gauge shotgun. This is an image I can't get out of my head. The harder I try to not think about it, the more I think about it. It haunts me every day. I always try to stop the thoughts from happening, but I'm unable to move. That evening, I experienced what shock truly is. It's as if part of my mind that controls how rational people should act broke. I called 911. I know I told them someone was dead, but I barely remember anything else from the ensuing events until the funeral. Detective Tilly was her name, the detective that was helping with my father's death. I always kept her card on my nightstand. She handed me a Ziploc bag with an off-white envelope that was once sealed but had been carefully opened. It's addressed to you," said Detective Tilly. "We had to process it for evidence, but the case is closed and this belongs to you." The next thing she handed me was her card with a soft touch on my shoulder. Over the following 18 months, my life can only be described as an absolute mess. I was hospitalized twice. I would simply forget to eat and ended up severely underweight. Over another time, I was apparently found by police walking down the highway. I don't remember that, but needless to say, I did not end up following through with college. When I wasn't an inpatient, I stayed with my Uncle Dan and Aunt Molly, who kindly took me in. Over the past 6 months, thanks to the help of Uncle Dan and Aunt Molly, my psychiatrist, and my therapist, I've made progress enough to finally start feeling like a normal person. I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit. She finally read the letter, and it says, Aaron, I want you to know that I'm sorry that none of this is your fault. Ever since your mother's death, the only thing that brought me happiness was being your dad. Now that you're off on your own, I don't feel as if I have any reason to live. I love you, Dad. I stared at the words, letting them sink in. My fist slammed on the desk before I even realized I was angry, knocking my pen holder over. What the fuck? I said out loud, as my sight blurred slightly from the accumulating tears. This letter was supposed to provide me with closure, not more questions. What did he mean by my mother's death? My father had always told me that she left and he didn't know what happened to her. I took a deep breath in through my nose and pushed the air out through my lips. I took a couple more deep breaths until I had composure over myself. Started picking up the pens that I'd thrown everywhere without realizing. That's when the oddity of the note struck me, something I hadn't thought of until now. The note was written in black pen. My dad only ever wrote in blue pen. I rushed back to the note and looked at it more intently. The black ink on the paper didn't seem right, and not just the color, but the lettering. I rushed to the closet, pulled out an old orange shoebox that contained every card he'd ever left me. On the top was a card he had given me along with my graduation gift. Written in blue ink was my name. I placed it next to the suicide note written in black. It was different. The handwriting was close, but very different. My dad wrote the E in Aaron with straight lines and sharp points, but on the suicide note, the back of the E was curved. There was other small differences as well, such as how the handwriting was slightly more slanted than on the card that my dad had given me. Over the next few hours, I pulled out every single card and analyzed the handwriting. The more I read, the more I became convinced that the suicide note was not written by my dad. Was he murdered? I approached Dan as soon as he got home, holding the letter in my hand. Dan, there's something that I'd like to talk to you about, I said, standing in the doorway of the office. What can I do for you, Aaron? Dan replied with a smile, but still looking down at his computer. My dad's suicide note, I read it. It says here that my mother died, but my dad said that she left and he never knew what happened to her. For a moment, just a small moment, a look of surprise came over Dan's face as if he'd been caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Just as quickly as it appeared, that expression left and was replaced with a kind, caring look. I'm sorry, honey, I didn't know much about your mother, only met her a few times myself. He paused for a minute to remove his reading glasses. I'm sorry to say this, but I think it's also fair to say that there were a lot of things your dad kept to himself. I wish he'd opened up about his struggles. Okay, I'm sorry to bother you. Hey, don't leave yet. Is there anything else that's bothering you? Well, the thing is...
For real.
Sus.
Now, not to interrupt, because I know we got a little bit of time left. I gotta ask y'all. Your dad self-transitioned, right? That's all you know. You look at this letter, you find out this is not his handwriting. Then you go to your uncle, you ask some questions, and he gives a weird red flag reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Without just saying shit, logically, what do? Remember. I got you. Give the best hugs. Nah, bro. Okay, so with all that in mind, right, you find out, okay, I might be connecting some dots here. Logically, what are you doing? Remember, you're on to this man. You weren't thinking about him. Now he does that. What do?
I'm finding out instantly what happened to my mom.
Yeah, but what do you do if you find out that he has something to do with it? Because remember, you found your dad head blown off in the bedroom, and he might have something to do with that. You didn't even know this man was capable of this 5 minutes ago. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm telling.
Who are you telling?
I'm telling.
I gotta get, once there's evidence, some sort of evidence, if I can find some.
Yeah,
okay, now let me ask you this.
For evidence, and then I'm going to the police.
Yeah, okay, but let me ask you this. What if he's now on to you? Because clearly he knows something, but what if he's on to you in the sense of, I feel like she might think that she knows something's up with me.
Hey, listen.
Because the minute that he's on to you, he's gonna have to do something about it. He has to do something about it.
Listen, the minute I come to him, he better be ready to take me out too. I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Because I'm yeah,
okay.
we're not. Yeah, we're not doing all that.
Oh no, we're not just talking. There's a bat involved.
Yeah, no, he better
We're
have
having
that
a
in his hand. If he
conversation.
doesn't, yeah,
I'm looking for an escape plan.
yeah. No,
Because
Oh.
realistically, hold on. Because realistically, like I'm saying, this is just me. Realistically, 5 minutes ago, it was not on my mind that
Mhm.
A, foul play was involved in my father's death, and B, you had something to do with it. That was not on my
That's
mind.
true.
Now I got to think, what the fuck are you capable of?
How to
Yeah.
get out of
Because
there.
yeah,
That's
I could
true.
run
That's
and
true.
tell. Now I'm hyper vigilant on how you reacting to me.
Mhm.
Because
That's
if I feel
true.
like you're on to me, you might do something about it, and I don't know what you're gonna do.
That's
Mhm.
very
That's
true.
I'm
true.
looking for an escape plan.
I didn't think
Yeah,
about that.
you gotta leave. You gotta leave.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have enough evidence to go to the police, they're not going to be able to do anything because they've already ruled. his
Because
death suicide.
if he did have something to do with it, and he's been trying to cover this shit up, you say no, I'm Dirty Dan.
No, I'm Dirty Dan.
But yeah, if you had something to do with it, you've been trying to keep quiet about it, and now he now knows that okay, she's aware that something's up.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, he's gonna be like, I got to do something about this and nip the shit in the bud.
Yep.
You don't know what this man might do,
Because
bro.
that now it could seem like you committed, suicide because of your dad.
Yeah, bro.
So he could set that up.
That would scare the shit out of me, bro.
That would
He
scare the shit out
seems
of
like
me.
more of a planner than an improviser, so maybe I just catch him.
Man, I don't know. I'd be trying to figure out how to get out.
Though.
I'm looking for an escape plan, bro, because like I said, I didn't know you were capable of this 5 minutes ago. And I don't know what you're going to do if you think that I know something.
Yeah.
Before I make it to somebody that I can tell on you about.
Yeah.
But continue.
Let's see what's up.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what she did.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I trailed off and looked down at the ground. I didn't know how to say it, that I thought my dad was murdered. I started doubting myself and was worried that after all the problems I've had, that I might sound crazy. It's okay, Aaron, you can tell me. I don't think my dad wrote the note. It's not his handwriting. It doesn't match. Aaron, Dan said, sounding disappointed. I thought we had all this behind us. Did you take your meds today? Yeah, I did. I'll call Dr. Z first thing in the morning. We don't need you to have another mental break. I'm sure the therapist can get you in for an emergency session. You know what? You're right. I'm overthinking. That's all. I'm just going to go get some rest. I didn't wait for a response. I turned and hurried to my room, closing and locking the door behind me. Deep breaths, I thought to myself. Deep breaths. First of all, if somebody told me, if I'm showing you something that's clearly like, okay, these two things don't match. You can see it. Like, this isn't subjective. This is objectively different. And you tell me that I'm crazy,
bro.
I'm fucking you up. Like, we're going to have that's going to be a fight.
I'm so hyper vigilant with shit like that. First of all, when she said that she asked her about her mom and that weird look he got, I would have caught that immediately and would have got a really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach. And when she went in the room, locked the door, I would have locked the fucking door because the rest of that conversation was sus as shit.
Absolutely.
That was weird.
Okay. I took a few moments to compose myself before sitting down on my chair. I unclenched my hand, letting the old post-it note that I had swiped off Dan's desk fall onto mine. The note said, pick up prescription for Aaron. The E was written with a curved back. I placed it next to the alleged suicide note. The handwriting from Dan's post-it note was a dead match. Dan wrote his suicide note, not my dad.
Bruh.
Hours passed while I sat at my desk, staring at the note, grasping the new reality of the situation. A dozen thoughts crossed through my head as to what might have happened, what role Dan played in my father's death. Molly had knocked on my door and tried to coax me out for dinner. I declined, saying that I needed some rest. My therapist called too. Undoubtedly, he had received a call from Dan. I ignored his call, thinking that Dan was trying to make me think I'm crazy. What are you hiding? It was 11 p.m. and I was sure Dan and Molly had gone off to bed. I pulled out the old business card that I had kept for the last 2 years. On the top, in blue handwriting, the card read, Tamantha Tilley, detective. What the fuck are these names?
Tamantha?
Darren, Aaron, Tamantha.
Right,
I'm spelling it Tamatha. No N. Tamantha.
Yeah. That's like someone named
Tamatha.
Anthony instead of Anthony.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why she goes by fucking Tilly. I would too. If my name was Tamatha, it would also be fucking Tilly.
All right, bro. You just fucking with people now.
Listening to the tone of the number I called, I couldn't help but think about that day 2 years ago, trying to call my dad, not knowing he was already dead, laying on his bed with his brain splattered across the wall. This is Detective Tilly. The voice startled me. I had been so lost in that horrific memory that I forgot about the present. Is anyone there? Detective Tilly asked from the other end of the line. Yes, sorry. My name's Aaron Mills. 2 years ago, you worked my dad's case. Darren Mills? I remember you. Some cases are hard to forget. How are you? She asked. Well, I'm a little freaked out, I said, feeling comforted by the openness of Detective Tilly's voice. The thing is, go ahead, Aaron. What can I do for you? I know it's been 2 years, and I know this probably sounds crazy, but I've just read my father's suicide note, and it's not his handwriting. He didn't write it. There was a pause of silence on the other line. Are you sure? Yes. I've compared it to my uncle's handwriting, and it looks exactly like his. I know how this sounds, but I believe you. Detective Tilly said before I could finish. Look, if you're right about this, we need to get ahead of the situation now. Where are you? I can come pick you up, bring the note and your uncle's handwriting samples, and we'll look at this together. It felt so good to hear her say that she believed me. It had been so long since someone truly believed me instead of treating me like some sort of head case. Okay, I live at...
in on it.
I live at Redacted, I told her, already grabbing some clothes from my closet with my free hand. But I'll probably have to sneak out. This is my Uncle Dan's house, and when I said something to him about the note, he got really weird. Oh, shit. Aaron, you need to get out of there. I'm already on my way. Yeah. Just keep me on the line, but get out of the house. Okay, I'll talk to you in a few. Before slipping the phone into my pocket with Detective Tilly on the line. Quietly, slipping my Vans on and grabbed a backpack with my computer, phone charger, and a set of spare clothes, along with a folder containing the suicide note, writing samples from my dad, and the post-it note from Dan, before quietly opening the door and stepping out. Going somewhere? I jumped a mile at the sound of Dan's voice and almost fell over while my heart punched my chest from the inside. God. Dan! Hey! I said, trying and failing to hide the obvious fact that I was caught red-handed by a man that may have murdered my dad. I was just going for a walk. With your backpack? Dan said immediately, taking a step forward. I took a step back at the same time. Yeah, just in case I get hot and I need to take my jacket off. Dan took another step forward and I took another step back. Look, we just want to keep you safe. You've made so much progress. We don't need another regression. Why don't you hand over the note so we can get past this?
Who's we?
Nah, you know, the note. Yeah, how you know she had the note on her?
His suggestion sounded more like a demand, and it occurred to me that he had probably been listening to my conversation with Tilly. He took another step forward, and I took another step back. No, it's mine, and it belongs to me. You know, you should remember who took you in and put up with all your psychotic breaks before you go making crazy accusations about the people who care about you. His usual cheerful voice now sounded dangerous and sharp, and he took another step forward. I realized that I was all but cornered. He stood between me and the door. Give it to me now.
Oof.
He lunged at me. I turned to run, but his hand caught my backpack, ripping me backward. I landed hard on the floor, smacking my head on the chair on the way down. Damn. Get off me, I shouted and started kicking my feet at him. He ripped the backpack away, but I held onto it with both hands and both of the straps. He pulled again even harder, and the seam of the strap started to rip. I remember what my dad had taught me. If I was ever going to be attacked by a bad person, to kick him in the groin. I summoned all of my strength and kicked as hard as I possibly could, placing my lower shin right between Dan's legs. He let go of the backpack and fell to his knees. You stupid bitch, Dan yelled as he started to stand up. I was already pushing the screen out the window, and just as he rose back to his feet, I jumped out the window, landing on the bushes 4 feet below. I scrambled to my feet while wiping the blood away from the cut on my forehead created by the collision of the chair. I heard a thud behind me and turned to see that Dan had already made it through the window. Jeez. All I could do now was run. I made it about 10 feet before something hard hit my head. My vision flashed, and the next thing I knew, I was on the ground with Dan standing over me, a large rock in his hand. Drop the rock or I'll shoot. I looked up to see Detective Tilly standing 20 feet away, with a pistol drawn and pointed right at Dan.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh, boy.
Look, this is just a big misunderstanding, Dan said desperately. Put your hands on your head and get on your knees.
Get on your fucking knees, forward. Dan.
Pistol still drawn. Dan dropped to his knees while I began to crawl away. Now lay on your stomach, Tilly demanded as she carefully navigated behind him. She's having a psychotic break. She needs help, Dan pleaded, but Tilly ignored him. Instead, she grabbed his head and slammed him into the ground face first and proceeded to put him in handcuffs while multiple other police cars arrived. A lot happened in the next few weeks. I spent a couple of days in the hospital being treated for a serious concussion. Detective Tilly stopped in multiple times to check in on me and keep me updated. The following day, she had the case reopened to be investigated as a homicide, with the suicide note being a key piece of evidence. Dan was arrested that night for assault. Detective Tilly had heard the entire thing over the phone and witnessed him hit me in the head with a rock. When questions about the homicide, however, he refused to talk and lawyered up. Instead, they turned to interrogate Aunt Millie. It took her less than an hour to crack and confess to everything. As it turns out, it wasn't just my mom who was into drugs. They all were. Aunt Millie, Uncle Dan, and even my dad. One night when I was an infant, things got out of hand while they were using and my mother overdosed. They didn't want to go to the police because they would all go to jail and guardianship of me would have been given to the state. Instead, my dad and Dan disposed of her body and played it off as if she had just walked out on us.
Jesus Christ.
They all got clean after that. My dad made it his goal to be the best dad he could be. The night my dad died, my dad admitted to Dan that he couldn't hold on to the secret anymore. Now that I was an adult, he planned to confess to the authorities what had happened 18 years ago. This didn't sit well with Dan, so Dan killed him and made it look like a suicide to keep Molly and himself out of prison.
Boy.
It was a lot to grasp, but ultimately I feel much better finally understanding the truth. I've forgiven my dad and can finally move on with my life and continue college. I know that even though he's gone, Dad will always be with me. After all, we're a team, and together there's nothing we can't handle.
God damn.
Golly, boy.
That was a good one.
That was very good.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
That was crazy. Fucking Dirty Dan. Fuck Dirty Dan.
I agree.
Oh my god. I mean, the damn, yeah, like it was Hambone said it. He was like, I think the detective might be in on it. And I was worried about that because I was like,
I was
oh,
worried
shit.
about that too. I'm also
But-
Team Tilly. I think because the part that fucking Tamitha, I read that wrong.
Tamitha.
Team Tilly for
Samantha. Get
Team
the fuck
Tilly.
out of here.
See, when on the note on the card it said blue handwriting where it said Detective Tilly, I was like, oh, she did something. She was in on it too.
That would have been wild if the detective
That
was
would have
in
been
on it.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
I didn't like that because that was like I thought we were just talking fucking ghosts and monsters here, people. I didn't think we were talking shit that could actually happen.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's one of them. Next week is going to be another spooky story.
Nah,
Okay.
that would have scared the shit out of me too, bro. That would have scared the fuck out of me. Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Let me I'm going to turn my light on. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, man, I'm enjoying these stories. True. Yeah, man, that was
Jai scary.
yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, because it's funny too, because my immediate thought was like, you know, get this motherfucker, and then Colin was like, "Ah, bro, you
Yeah, bro.
you didn't even know you were he was capable of this shit."
Yeah, bro. That was my whole thing. It's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
could call, but like even then, she said that he must have been listening to the phone call. It's like, dog, once he's on to you, if he did do that shit, he gonna do something about it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that Uncle Dan's handling her medication either.
Yeah,
No?
yeah.
Nah,
Especially
nah,
I
Dan.
hate that being like fucking neurodivergent, somebody calling me crazy because I have a mental illness or like because I'm like medication or whatever.
He
Like,
doesn't
oh,
want to
did
charge
you
your
take your
medication.
meds? Like,
Yeah,
that's
nah.
the thing that gets me the most is people using that as an excuse.
They
of,
know what they're doing.
like, not wanting to take accountability for the shit
Yeah.
that they need to take responsibility for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, the person who wrote this story, you got Darren and you got Aaron, and then you got Detective Tilly,
Samantha.
and then you got Aunt Millie. It's like,
Yeah.
all right,
Tilly, Millie,
You
Molly.
got Aunt
Yeah.
Millie and Samantha Tilly
yeah,
Right.
and Darren
right.
and Aaron.
yeah. What's
Darren
going
and
on
Aaron.
here, bro?
Like, bro,
Dan and
like,
Molly, Tamitha Tilly.
there's
You've got
1,000
fucking
names.
Darren and Aaron. Like, get the fuck out of here.
That's a lot going on.
That was like an auto name generator.
Yeah,
Like, and
that
go,
was
spin
a
the wheel.
bunch of names smushed together.
Right. So, do we have any other segment
No, I think
other than can we do?
I
I
snack
thought we
of
were
the
doing
week?
our snack.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
gonna do
let's end with
snacks,
snack of the week.
All right, so Sheila, right before the show started, came up with a new segment for us, and it was pretty simple one. It's
Yeah, well,
Snack of the week.
we're all a different group of people, and our diets change pretty regularly, and we have a couple of people here with hyperfixations that, you end up getting sick of one thing and moving on to the next. So, let's share our
We all
snacks
like
of
to
the week.
eat.
Absolutely, Nick, you first. What's your snack of the week?
Oh, so mine, and I can get it up here, is This guy right here. So I've been addicted to.
Ooh.
Hold on, real quick. So I've been addicted to
Good
the
choice.
peanut butter dark chocolate protein chewy bars. They're like granola. They have a little more protein in them, and they're not like protein bars. They're not like this. They're like, and so like I said it last week, but me and Kat are on this like calorie deficit thing where we're watching our calories. So that Sheila
Nice.
put us on to, right?
Cat lost
Yes.
17 fucking pounds.
Cat
Shout
lost
out, Cat.
17
Good for
fucking
her.
Yes.
pounds.
Good for her.
Shout out, Cat.
Good shit, Cat.
And that's the
she's
Aldi brand,
on it.
right?
This is an Aldi brand, yeah.
Nobody
Cat-
should sleep on Aldi.
I was gonna
sleep
say,
on
shout
Aldi.
out to Aldi.
Shout out Aldi.
I love Aldi.
And so yeah, so you can only get these at Aldi, but I did find another brand at Giant that's pretty much similar to this thing, but yeah, it's not that protein bar texture that I have grown to dislike in the
The
last.
grainy,
That-
It's
powdery
like a
thing. Yeah.
rubbery chalk, like
Yeah.
I just can't get past it. So like a lot of protein stuff I can't really get past, but this is just a granola bar with
Mhm.
a higher protein count than other
Mhm.
granola bars.
Nice.
So I've
Proud of
really
you,
liked
man.
this one a lot. I want to say
This is
it's
like
only
a dupe of the
let's see if it'll-
Fiber One chocolate peanut butter ones that they have.
Mhm.
Like they have a Fiber One
Yeah.
chocolate peanut butter chewy bar almost.
Yeah, let me
And
grab
that's
the
like
one that
the
I've been
dupe
using.
of that. Yeah, grab it.
It's only like 170 calories. It looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it's like 10 or 11 grams of protein or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's been one of my favorites. And then, but yeah, that's my snack of the week.
Hell yeah.
But
Con?
these aren't our snacks of the week, but these are the ones that like me and Sheila like. Sheila likes, this is like her favorite one bar.
The Hershey's.
Yeah, they got a Hershey's
Yeah.
like cookies and cream one.
I tried that one.
They also have like a
They have a
lemon.
Reese's one.
They have like a lemon pound
Do they?
cake one. I like that one.
Ooh, lemon pound.
It's pretty good.
I'm not a big
But,
lemon
yeah.
fan, but that's cool.
I think I showed y'all earlier my snack of the week. It's Emerald Hot Honey Cashews. I'm also on the calorie deficit kick right now,
Mhm.
courtesy of Sheila. But yeah, this is like kind of like a new one as like maybe like a week or two ago. But you find these at any Publix. They got a whole bunch of different flavors. They got like garlic and
They have a
rosemary.
dill pickle one.
They got a dill pickle
Yeah.
one, but hot honey is mine. That one's pretty good.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what I did find at Costco?
What's
I
up?
found Old Bay covered peanuts or pistachios.
Mm.
They're really good. They're
That
really
sounds
good. It's weird at first, but then like the aftertaste is like
Sure.
okay, like it
Okay.
pays off.
Hammy, your
Um,
snack, sir?
Hannah, what is your snack?
Bring it up. Did
You
you find
send it to
it?
me?
Did you see that text or no?
No, I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
This guy. This guy.
I know,
This
right?
fella.
I tried to get him prepared like
Who is this
15
guy?
minutes
Who
ago.
is this
Okay,
guy?
so while
Hold
Nick
on.
gets ready, here's my snack of the week, right? Quest sour cream and onion protein chips. Oh no.
Oh yeah.
We're
Oh.
losing Sheila.
Oh, man. Professional.
Professional.
We can't hear you.
Oh, we
Your
can't hear
mic
you.
went out.
We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
your mic went out.
Not sure what happened.
You got mine, Nick?
Yes, I do.
Okay, just bring that up and let her figure it. I thought you got it figured out, Sheila?
No.
Well, bring mine up real quick. We'll talk about mine while she figures it out. I am not on a calorie deficit, even though I should be.
Mm.
Like I said earlier.
Anyway, these.
Oh, okay. So I
Quest, sponsor me.
wow. Sponsor this podcast. We'll put your logo right there in the corner if you sponsor this podcast. So you'll be all of our snack of the weeks.
Hold on, Quest. If you want your logo, we can put it right here.
Right there. Right there.
See right there is where your logo could be.
Just saying.
If you want to sponsor this podcast.
Just saying. And I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to sponsor a podcast that's going to interview John Cena next week. So
that's true. Put your hand there.
Yeah.
Just put your hand bone right there. Hand right there. Yep. Right there is where your logo could be if you want to sponsor this. It could be Quest. It could be, whoever.
Yeah.
Got it.
Prince Nana coffee. You want right there? We'll put you right there.
Yeah.
Prince Nana coffee.
Put you right there.
I tried.
So yeah, mine. So, like I said in the beginning, I have had a tough couple weeks, and I have no addictions other than food. So that's kind of where I find my comfort. So I walk into a Speedway the other day.
Shouts out Speedway. Shouts out Speedway.
Sure, why not? You could have your logo here too, Speedway.
We could.
Would like. And I'm looking in their candy aisle for a little something, and I come across these cherry sours. If you don't know, Speedway is owned by 7-Eleven.
I know that.
I know that.
These are a candy that are made by 7-Eleven and put out by 7-Eleven, right? So I see them and I like, these are gonna suck. These are gonna be awful. I buy them and they are fucking awesome.
You were pleasantly surprised.
And I've had several bags since. They are delicious.
What makes you buy something?
7-Eleven cherry sours.
Yeah, I too would like to know what would make you purchase something if you have that thought about them when you see them.
Because I'm always going to give something a try.
Sure.
Especially if it's like a new candy or a new drink or something like that. Right. I'm gonna try it.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a try. So I took a shot in the dark.
And you were
gave it a try. I was very happy with it. So yeah. Don't
you love that?
Yeah.
Don't you love that? I think I felt that way about so these, right? But the snakes, the snakes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the green bag. Mm-hmm. So one day off random, I saw them. Just was like, fuck it, I'll try it. You know what I mean? It didn't look like it was gonna be crazy, but something about it just made me want to try it. And I was pleasantly wrong with my initial thought of it because those things are fucking delicious. But I can't go crazy with them.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, Finn's giving me the
paw.
Yeah,
where's the paw?
Appreciate everybody tuned in and commented and everything like that.
Get this out of here.
Finn's trying to wrap us up.
Tune in next week to see the John Cena interview. We're gonna put a lot of work into that one. I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, we're gonna come with questions ready.
Yep,
and we'll have it all figured out, and then
John told us to come with the hard-hitting questions, and we intend to deliver. You know what I mean? We were just like, all right, John, okay, because that's what we call him, because we're tied with him. We call him John.
Johnny.
Most people call him John Cena. Most people call him John Cena. We just call him John.
I don't know if you missed it in the beginning, he does follow this podcast.
Yeah, so it's no big deal. No big deal. Don't even bringing it up. Like, people get weird about it, but we talking about it. Yeah, he follows us, so we're essentially best friends.
Yeah. So we will have John Cena here next week. Yeah. So please tune in for that. By the way, a little show note for you guys. You guys thought it was over, but it's not. I am going to the football game next week. So I don't think I'll be late.
Did you tell
John? I will be here.
Did you tell John?
John knows. John might be coming with me, actually. I got him an extra ticket.
That's nice of you.
I'm not.
You're not buying that?
I'm calling cap on this, sir. No. I'm calling cap on this. I refuse to believe that John Cena would pick a football game over a wrestling podcast.
No, he's coming to the podcast. We're both coming to the podcast. We're not missing it. Right. No, we're not missing it. We're showing up.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get home and we're gonna set it up and we good.
Okay. All right. No cap.
No. Me and John will be at the game. We'll get on and we'll set him up and it'll be good.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I mean, I believe it. He's gonna be here on the podcast, so it only makes sense.
Why would we make that up?
I'm picking him up from the airport. We're going to the game.
Yeah, it only makes sense that he would hang out with Nick for the rest of the day.
What do we have to gain to make something like that up?
Listen, at 6:00 in the morning, I'm going to BWI. I'm picking up John Cena. And then we're going straight to the game to watch the football game because it's the Washington Commanders in DC. And then at around 6:00 on Sunday Eastern time. We'll be on Freebird Rules,
and it's not a big deal.
It's
not a big deal.
If Kai Cenat can get him, so can we, because he follows us on Twitter.
Yeah.
So what's the thing?
You can go check that right now. You can go onto X and look up Freebird Rules.
I'll bring it back up. Hold on. It's right.
This is no bullshit. You can go check this right now.
You know what I mean? Like, he calls and we answer and we have like long conversations and he shares his deepest and darkest dreams and fears and like whatever. It's no big deal. Like, I don't even like talking about it.
We're gonna share snacks with him next week.
Oh,
we get a new snack.
I'm interested to see what John's
I want to know what
snack of the week is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Clip all that.
I mean, it's probably just plain chicken breast.
Clip all that.
Chicken and rice, you're saying?
Yeah, chicken and broccoli. That's all it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all it is.
We're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
That's it for Freebird Rules.
I'm gonna text John
next week.
I'm gonna text John.
Let him know that everything's still on for next week.
Hey,
you know what? Why don't we just make John part of the group chat?
Oh, we'll do that.
Because like if he follows us, we have his number. Whatever.
As long as he doesn't have a disdain for non-iPhone users, like we all do, we still hang out with Amon for some reason. Then we'll do that.
Wow.
That's gonna be.
Well, I've had enough.
I'm gonna have John Cena play us out, and we'll get out of here.
Keep it kinky, Marks.
Kinky. That's what it is. Keep it kinky.
And his name is John Cena.